Robert Downey Jr., I think it was him that made a comment saying, everyone who's saying Marvel was dead, and then there was like 200 million people watching Cheers for like 5 hours. Tom Hiddleston, this guy never died.
Yeah,
Loki
boy,
is
he
coming
never died.
back. Loki never
Loki's
dies.
back. Standard,
Loki never
bro.
dies. Patrick Stewart's coming back as Charles Xavier, Professor X.
Yeah, boy, I
That's
love that.
awesome.
And even when that happened, you heard this little song in the background, just got everybody moist.
Well, you got Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto. Let's go. That's it. That's gonna be
It's
awesome.
amazing.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out Podcast. Brothers are back for another episode. Loads of news, loads of stuff been going on in this whole pop culture world. So we're here to give you the updates and give you our thoughts on what's going on. Before we get into it, guys, as always, please do like, share, and subscribe and help support the channel. And on that note, let's get into it. Let's start off with, unfortunately, some sad news, man. We've had a couple of deaths in the last couple of weeks that I want to touch on, man. A couple of legends, man, I would have to say, in our world in general, man. Let's start off with boxing heavyweight legend George Foreman. He passed away at 76.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, legend in the boxing world. I mean, George Foreman in the ring was known as Big George. He built like a remarkable boxing career, man. He won the Olympic gold in 1968. Claiming the world championship heavyweight champion title twice, right? 21 years apart, right? This guy was the oldest heavyweight champion, bro. He lost the first heavyweight champion against Muhammad Ali in the famous Rumble in the Jungle fight.
Yeah,
and then
that's
he
right.
regained it again 21 years later at the age of 45. Absolutely amazing, man. So the guy, he goes down in history, man. I mean, he had that amazing fight where he was just knocking out everyone. And this is when Muhammad Ali, I think this is after Muhammad Ali was banned for 3 years because he refused to fight in the Vietnam War, and then he came back.
That's
and
right.
I believe this was the fight that he used the rope-a-dope, man, where he just let George Foreman just wail on Ali's body, and Ali just took the shots. And Foreman would tell these stories where Ali would just be whispering in his ear saying, is that all you got, Fort George? And it's just crazy, man. And then, I think it was round 8 where, he basically gassed him out, and then Ali was able to take him out. But I mean, just an absolutely, amazing, man. Overall, he's astonishment. I mean, there's 76 wins, including 68 knockouts, almost double of Ali. Foreman retired in 1997, but before he agreed to put his name on the best-selling grill, with the George Foreman grill, I had one of those as well, which is awesome. So that was amazing, man. I mean, look, man, just condolence to him and his family. 76 seems, I don't know why. For some reason, it seems like not young, but I don't know. Anything under 80 gets to me. But rest in peace,
Yeah,
man.
no, definitely. I mean, because he was still doing stuff, right? And I think that's why it is with people at that stature, you're like, boxing legend, but still doing, he was in a couple of movies. He did a movie with The Rock as well. I think that was Walking Tall, right?
I think so, yeah. I think
it was Walking Tall. Yeah. But then, the Foreman grill, and, he was still present. I think that's what it is. When you can have a long-lasting career after being a champion, and you continue to still make some sort of you make your mark on this world, then that's legacy. I think people need to remember that most of these guys are doing it because they work. It's a job to them. It's a passion. But legacy is so important to them because we're all coming from different backgrounds, bro. And you want the next generation. I think that's what people have. This is me personally. This is just my thoughts, my opinions. People have forgotten the fact about legacy. Yes, we need to be present, but what do you do further down the line that will go back in time for your kids, your grandkids, the next generation, man? Like, you got to have a legendary plan, and that's what George did. So rest in peace. Loads of love to the friends and family. Rest in power, man. Honestly, because it's always nice to know that people's legacy still continues. I mean, we still got Bruce Lee's legacy continued. We've got Muhammad Ali's still to this day. He plays such a important part to our generation. you know, to know that people would still know about him to generations to come. So I think that's really important.
Definitely, man. Condolences.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah.
We also had another loss in martial arts, acting, choreographing legend Richard Norton, who passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he passed away at 75. He's
Oh,
been in Mad Max. He's man. Listen, man. We know him best for honestly Jackie Chan movies, right? City
yeah.
Hunter, Twinkle Twinkle
Yeah.
Lucky Star. I'll never forget that scene in Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Star when he's fighting Sammo Hung, and it was that scene when he beats him and he's like painful, and then someone was just in pain, just kind of like reacted to it. Those little scenes that I remember from those movies, man. But he's been in like Mad Max, and he's made films with Cynthia Rothrock, and just loads of old school martial art movies, American Ninja. He passed away at 75, man. He was also in
He's a legend, bro. Absolute legend. He
yeah,
was in
martial art
all
legend.
those Hong Kong movies. He was a good martial artist himself as well. So it's like, yeah, absolute legend, man. Rest in peace as well. And he was funny as well. He was funny as well.
Definitely, man. I mean,
In most of those, I think City Hunter. Remember City Hunter? He was funny in that, and him and Jackie having that back and forth. You know what? Nia's singing that Bruno Mars song and messing up the iPad. But yeah, all good. Sorry, continue, bro. Here we go. Sit down, mother.
Yeah, I mean, he's known. He's a Hollywood trainer and bodyguard, right? Fight choreographer, stuntman. Like I said, he's done loads of movies, like Mad Max and stuff like that from more recent sort of times.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
What was he? He was involved in Furiosa from the Mad Max saga.
Yes, he was in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much more, man. Both of them worked alongside Norton in his coordination fights for 2016 Suicide Squad, 2021 Suicide Squad. I mean, he's just been involved with so much, man. He's Australian native.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of remember him mostly from those Jackie Chan movies that we grew up with, man. But he's been in loads of things. He's collaborated with obviously Chuck Norris, who's a legend.
Yeah.
The Jackie Chan movies, like I said, City Hunter, City, Mr. Nice Guy. There's so many, man. Just another legend in the martial art world who passed away. And I'll remember him more for those movies more than anything, for me personally.
No, same here. I think again, an important part of martial arts history that he plays a part in. And I think that's why a lot of people, I think our post on YouTube got a lot of love, man. So massive thank you to everybody who jumped in on that, because he is an absolute legend. Nia, what do you think?
I'm glad people recognized him. I'm glad people did. Because when I saw it, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and say to you, I know everything that Richard Norton's been up to. But when I saw that immediately, I was like, oh man, like for me, straight away, City Hunter came up, Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Star came up. And I was like, oh man, it's him. So that's why I have to pay respects to the legend, because it's someone who we grew up with. But talk about legends. We did lose someone else at such a young age. Val Kilmer passed away yesterday.
Oh man, that was
65.
Yeah, that's young as well. That is young, man. That one kind of really hold on, Baba. Give me a second. Sorry, give me a second, bro. Give me a second. You continue. Let me just put you on hold for a thing.
Yeah, so he passed away. I mean, look, Val Kilmer, we'll go through his catalog in a second, but you know, we know him from so many things. But he played Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever. He channeled Jim Morris in Oliver Stone's The Doors, and starred in Turbulence Doc Holland in Tombstone. Died Tuesday in Los Angeles. His daughter Mercedes told New York Times the cause was pneumonia. He was 65 years old. He had been battling throat cancer for several years. Kilmer's rep did not immediately respond. The baby-faced blonde actor had a solid run as a leading man with volatile reputation of the 90s, 80s and 90s, with Top Gun, Willow, Heat, Saint, returning briefly on screen in 2022's Top Gun Maverick, which was quite emotional. That was an emotional moment.
Now
you could see after the recovery of the throat cancer, you hear it. You know, obviously it messed up his voice and everything. He couldn't speak due to his cancer and everything. So that was I don't know if he recovered to the cancer or whatnot, if it was still there, but his throat was definitely messed up in that. But I'm glad he had that moment in that movie.
Yeah, same here, man. Listen, man. Mad Martigan. I'll always remember as Martigan in Willow, man. He absolutely smashed that. I think he was a very charismatic, amazing actor. Top Secret, that's another one that me and Jakub love as well. That's another one that I grew up with as well. Handsome dude, man. And
Mm.
as Batman, I really liked him as Batman. I liked him as Bruce Wayne. I liked him as Batman. I like what Joel Schumacher did for that character. I want to see the Joel Schumacher cut. Come on, man, give me some respect for this guy because I think him as Bruce Wayne, he looked good, bro. He had that nice hair, like that face, and then when he put the bat
Mm.
suit on, he had the look, man. I think he had it down. And the visuals are different. We got a different type of Batman as well. Uh, Listen, legend. I mean, there's so many roles. It's countless amount. My guy's worked with like Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. He's worked with the greatest, and again another great legacy that he leaves behind with his movies and what he did as well. I know some of the guys, the DC guys that have met him at Comic Cons. I wish I got to meet him at one of the Comic Cons. Uh, yeah, rest in peace, man. That's all you could do. Some people like I think the last couple of years of his life, he was going through a tough time with the throat cancer. That's hard enough, and your voice completely changes. You don't even sound like yourself no more. That must have been hard. So loads of love to him and the family. He leaves back some amazing movies, bro, and not just movies that nobody will remember. You're talking about cult classic films to this day. Tombstone. I watched Tombstone yesterday
Mm.
for some weird reason because I think that's one of his best roles that he played. Uh, and then there's another movie that will always remind me because Dad loves that movie as well. So it's like one of those generational things, you know. Uh,
Yeah, there's a few that I need to go
I
back. Like Top Secret, I need to go back and watch.
Bro, watch
Tombstone, I have to be
Top Secret is
honest.
funny. He's young in that one, and he plays like a secret agent, uh, and it's like a teenager in that sort of fish out of water sort of movie. But
Yeah.
Willow,
Willow, I haven't seen in ages. He's in
Willow. I
1989
love Willow.
feeling.
Willow to this day is still one of my top 10 favorite movies. I love the fantasy. I love the comedy. I love the soundtrack. Uh, and Val Kilmer, he's absolutely brilliant in it. He's like this uh, wannabe fake warrior that ends up becoming. He's a good guy. He means well. Bit of a shitty. Sorry, shouldn't swear. Bit of a shitty personality, but he learns along the process. You know what I mean? And hanging around with Willow's character makes him think. You know what? There's. I could be more. I love that story. It's like, how much more can you be? You could be so much more. Uh, Great film, great actor.
Yeah,
Rest
I
in
mean, he
peace,
was
honestly.
in going through the list. True Romance. He was in that.
Yeah.
Tombstone. You mentioned Black Man Forever. Heat, which is legendary as well. Just working with classics. The Ghost and the Darkness. With what's his name? Mike. What's his name?
Ghost in the Darkness.
Yeah, what's it? Oh, have I got so blank for it? His name and Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas.
All right, I haven't
Uh,
seen that one. That's maybe something I have to check out.
there's
Is it one of them Dati Bati movies? It looks like.
no, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. My God, there's so
Because
many
Michael
deja
Douglas is
vu
one of
with
them hobbyist actors, isn't it? So
well, back in the days, he definitely was. Um, but yeah, he was in deja vu with another legend, Denzel Washington. I mean, he's just been there
oh,
and
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert De Niro. Oh my God, one of the most underrated movies that people don't know about. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you haven't seen that, that's directed by and written by Shane Black. And it was almost kind of like Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback. And Val Kilmer and him are absolutely amazing in this movie. I'm gonna watch that today. Oh my God, that's just like comfort. That's a wicked film,
I haven't
guys. If you
seen it.
haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, bro, need to watch that film. That you've probably seen it and you'll remember it once you see it. But bro, it is probably one of the best movies, best scripted movies when it comes to uh, back and forth. So good, so good.
I need to go back and
One to
watch it.
check
I
out.
haven't. Yeah, I
And
can't
Val
remember
Kilmer's
that
in it,
one.
and Val Kilmer is again brilliant in that film. He's absolutely brilliant. Like it couldn't have been anybody else for that role that he played. And the same thing for Robert Downey Jr. as well.
I'll check that one
Okay.
out. I'll check that one out. I haven't, man, he's been in so much, man. So such a legend. It was 65 as well. Again, I just spoke about any, like, what I was just saying about anything under 80 seems young, but anything past 65 seems very young, man. I don't know what it is, man, but obviously he was suffering. He went through a lot. So rest in peace, Val Kilmer, another person who cements his legacy in the world, in Hollywood and all that sort of stuff. So
No,
respect to him,
100%,
man.
100%. Respect.
All right.
Respect.
Well, let's move on to some of the biggest news that we got, man. And obviously, I would have to say it's the Avengers Doomsdays cast that was announced. And Robert Downey Jr., I think it was him that made a comment saying, everyone who's saying Marvel was dead, and then there was like 200 million people watching Cheers for like 5 hours, which clearly shows that people are interested. So Marvel done this live event where they had a whole bunch of chairs on stage with people's names, actors' names, and they revealed who will be the cast of Avengers Doomsdays, which have gone into production. So a long list of cast, but let's go through them, man, because there's a lot to discuss. And there's a few people who's not been announced yet. So we shall wait and see, because there was a post saying there's room for more or something like that. So we shall see. But let's go
I
through
saw
this.
that. It was good marketing. Let me just talk about the marketing on that, yeah?
Yeah, because you've been shitting on marketing for a while. So is this good or
Yes.
bad?
So listen, this is a good marketing tactic that they had there. The fact that they had over 2 million people watching on that stream is insane in itself, right? And it's just Cheers. So they have got some things that they do right. Other than that, the reason why I poo on their marketing is their recent trailers and their recent spoilers have been horrible, bro.
So
Like
that
they need
I've
to,
been watching. Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
haven't been watching
that's
that.
so I don't want because I've stopped watching trailers.
Like the
Like
new Thunderbolts
Thunderbolts,
one, I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it either. There's more stuff that's come out. I haven't watched it, and I'm not even going to react to it. So, as I said, I'll do the first one, and then after that, I won't watch anymore because there's too many spoilers. But I had to follow a big toy company yesterday. I had a little nap before I went to work. Stupid thing, jumped on my phone. First thing on my page, bro. Spoilers. They released.
Unfollow. Do you mean unfollow?
Yeah, sorry,
Oh, okay.
unfollowed. Yeah, I unfollowed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And creators that are spoiling things. So, like, I give a couple of days, a week before I post anything like spoilers or anything like that. Maybe a bit longer sometimes. But this toy company, Hasbro, man, I'm gonna have to put your name out there. You lose,
Man. What did they spoil? Don't tell me what they spoiled, but what did they spoil? Like, what
They
show?
spoiled
What
something
movie?
major for me. They spoiled
For
something major for
Thunderbolts?
me.
Or
Yeah, Thunderbolts.
basic.
So unfollow toys, unfollow any people. So what I'm doing at the moment now is just I feel like we're oversaturated with content anyway. But why would Marvel let a toy company release that? Let alone what they're doing. So can't even say anything, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
but
let's
anyway,
go
back
this
to the
list.
main.
I think a cast list is fun. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good to know everyone in it. Like, you don't need to have it, because this is an Avengers movie. So, for my opinion, you don't need to hide anyone, right? It's like, give us all, right? This is perfect. If it was a normal standalone movie and then you're spoiling it to say, oh, guess what? Blade's in it. Then you're like, hold on, wait, that's a spoiler. I don't want to know. But when it's an Avengers movie, I want everyone in it. So this is fun. So let's go through the list. We got Chris Hemsworth's coming back as Thor, which is great. Anthony Mackie as Cap, which is great. Sam Wilson's Cap. You got Vanessa Kirby, who's coming in and as Sue Storm. Can't wait to watch that Fantastic Four movie, and hope her addition to the movie, to the Avengers, will be fun. Paul Rudd's coming back as Ant-Man, which can be awesome.
Yeah, boy.
You got Florence Purg, hopefully I said her name right, who's coming back as Yelena Belova, who is, Black Widow. I guess our new Black Widow equivalent. Hope they don't bring back that other fool. I won't mention names. Russell, who's coming back as, what's his name? John Walker.
Yes.
So that should be good. You got, I'm going to butcher his name. Forgive me. He comes back as Namor, Tenoch Huerta Mijaya. Forgive me if I butchered your name. I know I did, but he comes back as Namor. He was awesome, so I'm actually looking forward for him to coming back.
Same here.
Shimi Liu coming back as Shang-Chi. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, boy. About time, man. My boy.
Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, White Wolf. What's his other name? Winter Soldier. So that should be good. You got Letitia Wright as the Black Panther. So as a reform,
Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright, Shuri
Yeah.
Black Panther. You got Eben Moss Bachachi as Ben Grimes thing. Is that how you say his name?
I think so.
Guys,
But
I'm the worst guy to read this list when I can't read names.
I know. I was actually surprised that you were going to read everybody's name out. So let's continue.
Let's go through it, man. Listen, there's a long, fun list. Kelsey Grammer comes back as
Yeah, boy.
Hank McCoy, Beast. So there's a lot of good
boy.
stuff coming in there. Lewis Pullman comes back as Sentry for this. So we are getting introduced to him shortly in the Thunderbolts. Danny Ramirez coming back as the Falcon. Joaquin Torres as the Falcon. You got Joseph Quinn coming back as Johnny Storm. You got David Harbour, who's coming back as Red Guardian. So they're getting a lot of people involved in, Thunderbolts and all that sort of stuff, because they weren't in the original Secret Avengers, Red Guardian, I don't believe, if I remember, wasn't in the Secret Wars comic. But anyway, they're getting everyone involved in the movies. You got Winston Duke coming back as M'Baku.
M'Baku, yes.
Hannah John Carmen coming back as Ghost. You got Tom Hiddleston. This guy never died. Loki,
yeah, boy, he never died. Loki's back. Standard,
Loki
bro.
never dies. Simple.
That's it.
All right, fun stuff. Patrick Stewart's coming back as Charles Xavier.
Yeah, boy, I love that. And even when that happened, you heard this little song in the background, just got everybody moist.
Yeah. And then
wondering what they're looking to do. Yeah, go on.
Well, you got Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto. Let's go. That's it. That's awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You got Alan coming back as Nightcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
You got Rebecca Romijn.
Romana, I think. Yeah.
Romana. Okay, coming back as Mystique. You have James Marsden coming back as Cyclops.
He needs that drop. He needs that drop.
He needs that.
If there's anything they're gonna do, you need one of them superhero drops. Okay,
and then you need to put him in costume. Put him in costume,
yes,
man.
Put him in costume, man.
Yeah. Channing Tatum, my man's gonna make a name for himself. Gambit's coming back.
Yeah, boy. That video went viral on our page, bro.
It did get some viral. There was some viral views right there. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, and then the one and only Robert Downey Jr. as Doomsday. Listen. Before we go into the cast who has not, right? First of all, a couple of noticeable facts. The X-Men this is like an X-Men Avengers movie, man. This is gonna be off the hook. Now it's the old school X-Men, right? Not the new age ones. Cool. I'm not arguing against that. I love it. I love the fact we're getting Magneto and all them sort of people back. We'll go through a list of people who hasn't been announced yet. But that is going to be fun that they're getting the X-Men involved. It's super exciting that they're going to get them involved. I just hope they put them in costume and all that sort of stuff. With Robert Downey Jr. and his Doomsday pin. Now, I know there was a lot of back and forth. We gave our thoughts. I heard a new theory, and I like this theory, and I wanted to run this past you and see what you think.
Tell me.
I heard something on Instagram, and forgive me, I didn't save the person's name, but shout outs to you if you hear this for some reason. So check this out.
Hey.
In Avengers Infinity Wars, Strange goes back in time, or he goes in the future to read over 14,000 possible scenarios of how they
millions
of scenarios of how they beat Thanos, right? There could have been scenarios, because Tony Stark, what we know about Tony Stark in our universe is that he always wanted to, especially when he found out the threat from Avengers 1, he always wanted to beat the war before it even started. That's why Avengers Age of Ultron happened. He tried to create the suit of armor so he could pull it around the world so they don't have to fight those battles. So he was always trying to save the world before anything ever happened. Now, maybe Strange saw a bunch of realities where this Tony Stark, where they beat Thanos in other ways, but this Tony Stark is alive, right? And he obviously has discovered the way to go through time travel, multiverse, and that brain, that thought process of him of like, oh, I need to prevent this from happening from all other timelines, from all other multiverses, so I need to use this to go back, and he goes around and destroys a whole bunch of multiverses and whatnot. So maybe Strange prevented our Tony Stark from doing that. However, maybe there's a Strange out there that didn't see that, or they beat Thanos a different way, and it allowed their Tony Stark to go around with that mentality of like, oh, I need to go save different multiverses before it even happens. So and that's why he's our Doctor Doom. Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. comes back in as our Doctor Doom. That's an interesting theory, and I have to say I like it because if it links back to that whole theory of what Strange saw, that's a pretty cool link up, in my opinion, if that's the case. What's your thoughts?
Right, I like that as well, which I don't think is going to happen, which is a shame because we ain't got Doctor Strange in this movie.
Well, we're going to go through a list of cast who wasn't announced, so let's hold on that part. But yeah,
so let's hold on that for now. But I'll just say, that's a great theory. I think that's a great theory. That'd be a wicked way to get into the next phase of MCU and this movie as well, and where it heads to. I feel we're going to get Doctor and link it back. I feel like we're going to get Doctor Doom at the end of Fantastic Four, definitely, without a doubt. And yeah, but I don't think it's going to go down that route, and that's what I'm kind of scared of. But I'm sure we'll get something interesting.
That's a fan theory, right? And I like that. That's why sometimes I do like certain fan theories. And a lot of time I stay away because they're full of spoilers and stuff. But when I think about that theory, and I'm like, you know what? It just, one, it links it back to the Infinity War and all that stuff. And two, I think it does give a good justification of RDJ coming back as Tony Stark. You know, everyone had this, he shouldn't come back and whatnot. I was a little bit like that. But I'm like, you know what? If you link it back with a great sort of tell story like that, then you're like, ooh, that's a pretty cool link up, in my opinion. So we'll wait and see where they go with it. Let's go through the cast that they didn't, everyone that was missing, right? And who we're expecting. If we know where they're going to come out, we don't know. Marvel did say there's room for more, so we'll see. But they haven't announced this yet. But here's a list of names that they haven't announced. Paul Bettany as Vision. Don Cheadle as War Machine. Charlie Cox as Daredevil. Benedict Cumberbatch as Strange, as you mentioned. Chris Evans, okay, possibly, right? The girl who played American Chavez, Sheila Gomez, I can't pronounce her name.
Yeah,
it starts with an X, bro. I mean, and I can't even read. John Bethell's Punisher. I mean, come on. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Now, any other Spider-Man, Tom Holland, and I blanked on everyone else's name. Tobey Maguire and my guy, who I love very much. Who's the other Spider-Man, bro? Why have I gone blank?
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Yeah.
None of them have been mentioned. So, Oscar Isaacs, Moon Knight, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, Evangeline Lilly. I can't remember who she plays.
Evelyn.
Evelyn Lilly?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Wasp, yeah? Oh, sorry, Daddy.
Okay. Tatiana Masala as She-Hulk. Forgive me for butchering names. Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. Tayanon Paris. Who's that? Tayanon Paris. Who is that? Let me quickly Google search that.
Where's the numbers? You keep going, bro. Give me a second.
Tayanon Paris. Oh, in Captain Marvel, in the Marvels. So she hasn't been announced. Chris Pratt as Star-Lord has not been announced. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye has not been announced. I don't expect to see him back. I think he should be done. The old Avengers should be done. Well, actually, shouldn't say should be because there's some I'm expecting back. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool hasn't been announced. Mark Ruffalo is one of the original Avengers. I think he should come back. Yeah, so I shouldn't say that. So Mark Ruffalo hasn't been announced. Hailey Stanfield. Hailey Stanfield is Google just in case. Oh, as Kate Bishop, she hasn't been announced. Teresa Thompson. Who's that? Again. Teresa
Valkyrie.
Thompson. Valkyrie. She has not been announced yet. Dominique Thorne. You remember who she was? Dominique Thorne. Oh, as
No.
Ironheart. Iman Valeri as Miss Marvel, and then Benedict Wong as Wong. So none of these characters have been announced. I'm pretty sure there might be more, but some significant ones like Spider-Man, like Doctor Strange, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. I want to see. Listen, I want to see Angry Hulk. There's one scene in Secret Wars that I always remember from the comics when I read it, and I want to see Angry Hulk back for this. Is when there's a mountain that falls on them, and he holds it up. Hulk is holding it up to save all the other, everyone else, all the other
Yeah.
characters, right? And then Mr. Fantastic uses his intelligence to fuel Hulk's rage for him to get stronger to hold this mountain. So he starts insulting Hulk, right? And that makes Hulk stronger, which makes him hold the mountain higher. Like little scenes like that I remember seeing in the comic I'm reading, which is why I would want a Hulk in that scene sort of back. So someone like Hulk, I would want back. Wolverine, I would want back. Look, Deadpool, okay, look, some of these characters will be fun. You know, they would be fun for sure. Spider-Man needs to be there. There's a very important scene with Rhodey and War Machine in that comic, which I don't know if they'll bring up. This was back then, but I remember again another scene where I believe Rhodey was he dressed up as Iron Man instead of War Machine, and then I can't remember who he asked, but he asked someone, "Are you shocked that I'm a black man in this outfit?" Or what? I can't remember exactly who it was asked. So you know, it brought a lot of that. You know, the old comics talked a lot more about the racial division. They wouldn't bring that up, but War Machine should be in this.
100%, 100%.
I think few characters who I'm definitely like, okay, they should be in here. The rest of them are just fun to have them in, to be honest.
Yeah.
So big list, man, big list of the Doomsday cast. I'm sure we're gonna hear more. That was super fun. Such a great sort of announcement. I do think that was done well. So many people watched it. I didn't watch the whole 5 hours, but I definitely was looking forward to the cast. I definitely was engaged, and I was definitely hyped when I saw the X-Men, when I saw Ian McKellen, Magneto, these sort of things. Those sort of names got me hyped more than anything. So that was awesome.
No, exactly. It'd be interesting to see where they're heading with this. It looks like different dimensions are going to be popped together, and I think that's what they wanted to originally do with Caine. And this will be the end of the multiverse saga, right?
Well, possibly, because the next one is Secret Wars, then it's Doomsdays, the Doomsday one.
Not Secret Wars. I said Secret Wars after. Or is it Secret Wars first?
Oh, yes, I'm confusing it. This is Doomsday, yes, and then it's Secret Wars after. Yes, you're right. Well, look, talking about Kang, I mean, I heard Jonathan Majors talk on the Breakfast Show or whatnot. I watched a little bit of it, and he was saying that I don't know if the cases were dropped or whatnot, but he was saying anyway that he would love to play. Listen, he made a valid point. They gave RDJ a chance and he came back and he smashed it. And we spoke about this before. It could be a redemption story for Jonathan Majors, right? He sent a note to Kevin Feige just to say, you know, that I'm sorry. And just basically, if you ever need me, I'm here. You know, just a sweet note. I'm not expecting anything back, but if you ever need me, I'm here. He'll love to play the character of Kang. He loves the MCU and Marvel and whatnot. I say, look, man, I honestly think this. I honestly think in a couple of years, bring him back. I think it's great that you went missing and then come back in a couple of years because Kang's back there in the thing. You don't have to carry on. This is the great thing about these stories. You don't really have to necessarily carry on. You just take a detour and come back to it later.
That's right.
Which they could do. So I think that'd be a great redemption story for him. But yeah, I mean, look, man, let's go back to Doomsday. I think it's going to be great. I have no idea what to expect from it, to be honest with you, but I think it's going to be a fun movie, man. All those characters, I mean, it's going to be fun.
Bro, I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited. Look, a lot of people did message me after to say, "What's your thoughts? You know, what did you guys think?" And I'm excited, bro. I'm still excited. We still get this content, right? I'm not gonna call it content. We still get this art form. I need to get away from saying that. They've made us normalize calling art content. It's not content, and I feel like I'm taking an offense to that. Listen, we are in a era, and we have been for the past 15, 20 years, where we get in some great movies, man. We are getting some great films. We're getting some great artwork. And I've noticed a little downfall in my mood recently towards movies and the Marvel Cinematic Universe and just in comic book general stuff anyway. But I think it was my fault because I watched Kraven the Hunter and it upset me as a comic book fan, but as a moviegoer as well, because it's like, what the fuck is this shit, man? But I'm not going to fault it for the issues that it had with filming, not using the 100 years of mythology that we have in the books, comic books, written, whatever. You just made a movie and just put a tagline, Kraven the Hunter, on there. That's what that is. So it's like that made me upset a little bit. But I've realized, right, the industry is a whole different ballgame, and we know that already. But I'm happy to see that we're gonna get this stuff, and returning actors are coming back, and like, why wouldn't you be excited, man? Why wouldn't you be? And like, I feel like I'm not gonna. There's gonna be nitpicks, regardless. There's gonna be nitpicks, and I need to go back to enjoying things. And I think, recently I had a really great experience where I don't think I would have given that movie a second chance or a good opinion about movie making until like I watched it and I sat there and I thought about it and I was like, all right, we're classed as critics, so we're going to nitpick on things. But what joy did it bring me? And I think it goes back to what we said in our last episode is what's the feeling it's going to give to me? Now, if it gave me a bad feeling, I don't need to talk about it. I can nitpick on it and say, they didn't use the mythology of Craven when they've got 100 years of comic books and you've got 20 years of gaming. Like we had Spider-Man 2 come out a couple of months ago and they gave us an amazing story for Craven. Like you've got source material here, but then you've got original material. So I can totally understand. I think what they were trying to bring to us was original material. That's fine. That's cool. Make a good thing out of it. Like I feel like you get that and you don't do nothing with it because there is original content out there. Look, bro, I watched The Crow twice last week. I don't know why. I watched The Crow twice last week. I think that is one of the best movies that came out during that era. Yeah. People still hated it. It was weird, bro. I went down this deep rabbit hole about The Crow. It didn't look like the comic books. The new one looks like the comic books, but then it's not that. It's the look and feel that film gives you. The feel of what Eric's gone through, the feel of his journey to get this vengeance, and we didn't need to know the backstory of the Crow. So they gave us something brand new in the era of 90s movie making, and the visuals are stunning, bro. I don't think there's anything better than the way they did that city. And the feel, bro, like, bro, I've been listening to the Crow soundtrack like continuously just because of how that film made me feel. And to this day, to give me that same feel still, that's crazy, bro. Like I really, and I if a movie can do that to you now, how do we get to movies to get back to that level of, you had me connected to those characters within the first 10 minutes. I felt his pain from the first 10 minutes. So everything he did after, I was rooting for him. You know what I mean? So how do you root for characters again? How do you root for not liking the bad guy? So like, yeah, I'm excited to see Art come back, bro. I'm excited to see what they do next with this as well. And got to give Art a chance. I think Art is a statement sometimes. Doesn't matter what sort, if it's mainstream, political, avant-garde, it's a statement. We're putting it out there. And that's the thing with artists. And I think now I'm starting to, my journey is slowing down. You know what I mean? Like, and I could understand what that could be like for people that are in that industry that are trying to put their artwork out there. But the rottenness that we have as a society, as a people, that we suddenly shit on other people's work. And I feel bad about it because I don't want to be that guy. And I'm not about that. We've never been about that. I think we've been critical and we've nitpicked, but we've never put down anybody's work before. I would never do that. I don't want to do that as an artist, as a person. But we've become way too critical, bro. Way too critical. And people didn't enjoy this because they wanted to hate it. Like some of the videos I saw after and some of the tweets I saw after, I was like, rah, man, like, how did we get to a point where we absolutely loved this art form to shitting on it and hating it on it that bad? And I think that has changed the industry a lot. And I feel like, and we jump on bandwagons, bro. We're the human nature. We're the human nature to jump on a bandwagon. We're followers. We're the ones that follow. Yeah. I know religious teaches us to seek guidance. It's guidance, not follow. We follow, but for the good things in life, for that peace, that inner peace. But now we follow to hate. We follow to be misinformed. We follow. Scary, man. So scary.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
mean we're tribal. We're tribal, man. So it's kind of like we follow, we fit into a tribe. We're happy when people in our tribe reassure your thought process or reassure your point that you're trying to make, so it makes you feel better and whatnot. Listen, we're all in some kind of following with some kind of whatever you. I mean, put religious stuff aside, right? That's the whole. I'm talking about art, entertainment, and Samsung and Apple and PlayStation and Xbox and Marvel and DC. There's always something, right? There's always something, and that's the job of it is the job of the content creator or the manufacturer, whoever it is, to get that following. You know what I mean? They want loyal fans. They want loyal fans to buy their products, and they want loyal fans to argue over their products and all that sort of stuff. So it's always going to be the case, man. It's always going to be tribal. We're tribal people, man. And in regards to being critics and all that, I mean, this is what the internet has done. My people always have their thoughts. The internet has done this has allowed everyone to give their thoughts. So that's what's going to happen, man. The general Joe, Bob, whoever it is going to say, I don't like your hat, and I don't like these two brown people talking about the brother. Like, what's the Brothers Geek Out? What is that punish that is rubbish? What is that post that looks crap? Whatever. Your beard, your mustache looks funny. There's always going to be someone out there, right? From just our network of people or someone that might see us on the net to the grand scale of an MCU project like Doomsday or whatnot. No matter what, man, there's going to be people saying shit. So you just got to kind of accept it. We've taken a path, and maybe because we're older now, maybe when we were younger, we could have been a bit more aggressive. But right now, because we're older, we're like, let's take a path. And, we're inspired, or, we love, like, the mind frame of someone like Kevin Smith, who just talks about, my life's too short, so why am I going to waste my life and time on hating on things? Which is why you'll never catch us doing a review or something of a movie that we hate. What was the people point of that, right? In my opinion. So that's the way we approach it. Listen, if it's not for us, we might not talk about it. We might not talk about it much or whatever. We'll just bring it up and say it wasn't for us, not my cup of tea. Someone else might like it. And we'll just concentrate on things that we can enjoy. And maybe Doomsday comes out, maybe it's not as, fun, like the way the Endgames and Infinity War made us feel. Maybe, but maybe not, because we have no idea what's going to come. And I'm looking forward to a grand scale Marvel movie. It's been since Endgames was 2009, so we're talking about 7 years. Okay, 7 years is not bad. I have this thing in my head where every 10 years a big grand Avengers story is good, but they're giving us two. We're going to have Doomsday, and then we're going to have Secret Wars a year later. So we're going to have two big Avengers projects coming up, right? Which is going to be fun. Yes, the MCU hasn't been great. Certain movies here and there, but certain movies have been good, and certain characters have been fun. So why not have some fun and bring these characters back into a big scale movie? And it's not going to be necessarily just their movie. It's going to be an Avengers movie. So if you don't like it for that character, maybe there's another character in there that you're going to love. RDJ being one of them as Doomsday, or, possibly the Iron Man that turns into Doomsday, whatever it is, man. So all these sort of things are fun. So let's wait and see, man. So yeah, big news on that. Stay tuned. I'm sure Marvel will give us more on that. So we'll...
Anyway, way they're going to do it is that he's Victor Von Doom on another planet, or I'm sorry, another dimension, and disconnect it from the Iron Man thing.
Yeah, disconnect it from Tony Stark. Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah.
They put him under heavy prosthetics, make him look like a whole different somebody else, because they have done that. So do that.
You think they could? They could do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that, but you know what? He doesn't have to be Tony Stark. This version of what this entity looks like is Victor Von Doom. Why not? It doesn't matter. The multiverse has shown that they could do that. All right. That was the big news of the day. Let's go through some other stuff, man. There's been a lot of controversy. Now, we haven't spoken about, like, we're going to go into this for a little bit. We haven't spoken about it. We speak about it, don't get me wrong. Right? We have spoken about it, but I wanted to touch on certain things. I wanted to touch on Snow White and its flop, basically, right? And the reason why I want to touch on it, we didn't watch the movie. I'm not planning to watch the movie, to be honest with you. And
it's not my genre. of
It's
movies to
not my
watch.
genre. I would watch
Yeah,
the original one. I've watched the original one a long time ago.
yeah.
Let's be real. Disney's live action movies have been crap. They've all been crap. I cannot say to you that one has been so epic that it will be remembered in history. But I can say to you that all the animations will always be remembered in history. So forget that. All the live actions have been crap, right? This
They're just
movie
not been
was,
enjoyable. That's the main thing.
yeah, they're
Because
not
it's
being,
almost a rewrite of what we've already seen. They've added a little bit extra to it. But listen, again, it just doesn't work for me. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, definitely, right? I didn't see the last couple. I didn't see Mufasa. I'm not interested in them. I have to be honest with you, right? So with this one, the reason why I'm bringing this one up, right? Disney and those producers and all those people are listen. This film was good. I tell you why the film was going to flop anyway, right? In the very beginning, like we just discussed, right? It's not going to work out. The main actress Rachel Zangelia, or whatever her name is, forgive me.
Sangalia, Rachel Zelga. Or
Zelda, forgive me, right? She's young, right? She shitted all over the project anyway. Remember she had that awkward interview and she was like, the old one was weird and blah, blah, blah. It was like, you already shitted on the old one. You didn't even pay no homage to it. Even if you were going to change it, at least have some respect for the originals. She was kind of awkward with it. Movie was going to flop, right? But the movie flopped, right? She later on, Gal Gadot was in it. I don't even want to say her name. She is a Zionist racist murderer. She's probably murdered children. Like, listen, any Zionists that fight for the IOF, you've both probably your child murder. I don't give a shit. I'm saying it straight. So, of course, that movie, when you got someone like that in a movie, you're gonna have not just pro-Palestinian people, you're gonna have pro-human people. Like, I don't want to watch this movie because of her. The movie got boycotted, let's be real, for her, right? The Rachel girl, she did post something about Free Palestine, and good for her for being brave. But the whole
yeah,
of Disney and the industry, the Disney producers, what they're trying to do now is put the blame on her. That because
that's
she
right.
posted a little political thing, that the movie flopped because of her. No, let's be real. Everybody knows the movie flopped because one, Disney, your live action movies are crap. And two, nobody want to watch it with a murdering Zionist baby killer such as that Godot, right? And that Godot recently got a very famous star. For what? For what? What the hell has she done? She's rubbish. Just as an actress. What has she done? All the Fast and
You
Furious
pay for
movies
that. You
she
pay for
plays
that.
in.
You pay for that.
No,
You pay for
yeah,
that.
listen, as she
You
is
pay
the
for that.
Zionist
Because
industry, right?
it was
The
a
Zionists
yeah,
gave it to her. The Zionists gave
yeah.
it to her. But she
They
ain't
paid.
done shit to earn that star. The absolute toilet. That's what that star is, right? So she's shit anyway. So of course the industry is gonna people are gonna boycott the movie because of her. But the industry and producers or whatnot, they're trying to blame Rachel because she posted something about Free Palestine. That's bullshit. We clearly know that's not the case. We clearly know it's that Godot and the movie is going to be poor anyway, right? So the combination of both means flop, right? So I just wanted to point that out. I don't care about the movie. I wasn't going to watch it anyway, right? But the fact that they're trying to put the blame on Rachel because she posted Free Palestine, and good for her for sticking up and for being brave and not taking it down, because they said that the producers went over to her house, or the producer's son went to her house to kind of convince her to take it down. She refused. She kept it up. Good for her. I give her all the credits for that. That doesn't mean I'm a fan of her. I'm not saying, I'm going to watch all her movies now. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying good for her. But what I am saying is like screw you lot for trying to put the blame on her, when clearly the whole world knows is nobody wants to watch a movie with Godot in it, right? So boycotting that fool. And also the movie was going to be crap anyway, because Disney live action movies were crap. So I want to bring that up. Screw you guys, for putting saying it straight, a baby killer in. I have no evidence, but for a fact, she was in like the Lebanon war. She killed innocent people. She's a part of that. I don't give a shit. They kill babies, man. So F them. I'm trying to not swear if I can, but that's the facts. That's the reality. And I'm putting it out there. I don't give a shit. We've been boycotted. We've been shadow banned before. And I don't give a shit if we're going to be shadow banned again. We're going to keep saying what we feel is right. So F you for putting the blame on Rachel. Stripes to Rachel for at least sticking up for
Ah,
yourself
listen,
and for
man. Look,
people.
she's a young talent with a good heart, and listen, things are going to be misconstrued and things are going to be out of concept as well. like content, sorry, like when you put out videos like that. But she clearly stood her ground. I heard that the producers went over to see her and tell her like take that post down or some shit like that. Like, come on, bro. You're gonna fly all the way over there to delete a tweet. Like, wow, go on, man. Anyway, the movie was gonna lose anyway. If you guys did your market research properly, there is a genocide happening at the moment. And you've got one of
Exactly.
your lead actresses that is part of that. Nobody's gonna go watch that. Listen,
Who
this
plays
is sad enough.
bro? Sorry to cut you. That evil queen is a evil queen who wants to kill a little brown girl. I mean, in this story, a little brown girl who's like bro. That is the story of the Zionist, bro. And she's literally playing the Zionist queen. Like she's literally playing her real life self, doing a genocide on a princess and all that sort of stuff. A Zionist trying to occupy. It's literally her. Sorry, carry on. It's so dumb.
Yeah, no, where was I?
Sorry, man, I cut you off. Sorry. You were just saying that the movie was going to flop anyway, and you didn't want to go, because Godot was in it and all that stuff.
Yeah, they already had they messed up from ages ago on that one. They probably should have cut their losses on that one as well. They should have known that. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's two
agreed.
films. Like I wasn't gonna watch it anyway because it's not my type of movie. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go. Uh, why am I gonna go watch a movie that's not in the genre of what we already like? But it could surprise me if I do watch it. But people said that Rachel was absolutely amazing in it. And listen, I'm not gonna take anything away from it. The problem is that you got that person in there, which doesn't. I don't sit well with it. They did the same thing with Cap. Listen, man, I saw Cap the other day, yeah, and just to give like before anything, listen, I enjoyed the film for what it was. They did not need that person there.
Well, you take that
But
fool out, the start, it goes up a notch. I'm not going to lie. That fool does bring it down a notch because you don't want a murderous Zionist in a. I'm telling you, saying straight, don't sit with me. They're killing babies and they put them in movies. Nah, man, don't sit with me. Don't sit with me.
yeah, that exactly, and this is bad enough as it is. And I'm going to be honest because I like being upfront. It's the first Marvel movie I've never seen in cinema. I can't believe
Mm.
that. It's my first Marvel movie that I've not seen in cinema. That don't sit well with me, man. That as a fan, you separate the art from the shit. But with what's been
Nah,
happening
bro.
recently, it
Not
hasn't
with
sat
that.
well with me. So
It's tough. I'm glad that fool's name wasn't announced in Doomsday. I don't want to see that fool again. Don't bring that fool in any. Take that fool out. It was a very useless character. So don't ruin. Think about the money. I know you guys like money, right? Think about the money. Take that fool out. You're gonna get good. You're gonna get more money. People are gonna go
I
watch your
think that would
movies
have changed
without a
the
doubt.
projection because I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I think Sam Wilson, he's amazing, bro. I love Sam Wilson. I actually love Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great charismatic actor and he's very uh, he shines in his roles that he plays. He makes me laugh, he makes me cry, he makes me shocked. But I think as Cap, I think he plays such an important role because I followed Sam's journey for almost 10 years. Yeah. So what they did here, and with all the cuts as well, bro. Like, there's something wrong with the reshoots at the moment now. The fact that they put Bonanzo, what's his name, as Sidewinder, they should have kicked
Mm,
him out. They shouldn't have
mm.
had him in the film. They put him in there because he's a named actor, and people will go watch it because he's a named actor. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think he's an amazing actor. He just did not. Was not convinced that Cap could be head on head with this potbelly old dude.
Yeah. He's such a great actor. They should have saved him for a great villain role or something.
Marvel. Man, that guy could have played
Doctor
Magneto. I could
Doom,
see him as
Magneto,
Doug.
Doctor Doom. He could have played one of them. He's
They
so good.
wasted
When
him
you
on a
see
side
him,
character.
yeah, when he plays a villain like he did in Breaking Bad and all those ones, man. He's so sadistic, man. He's got this sadistic look. You're like, they could have definitely used him as a great villain. Listen, that cool. I feel like wasted. I feel like that they shouldn't have put that fool in the movie, and the movie would have gone. The box office would have been higher because people wouldn't have boycotted. I only watched it because I got invited to the premiere. Maybe I'm still a hypocrite for that, and you know what? Clearly I am. But I never would have paid for it.
No, but
But
remember, bro. Listen, that's our work. This is our work. We're journalists. We're press. That's our work. That's what we're going to be doing. So
yeah,
I
yes, yes. yes and no. Yes and no. Listen, man, I work for the company that I work for. I don't agree with the way the journalists are reporting on the Gaza situation on the platform that I work.
Yeah.
So and to just say that's my job, you said no, you have the right to tell the truth. So if you're saying it's my job, when I gave you my review of that movie, I told you clearly, okay, if it's my job to be a journalist, here's how I felt about the movie. Here's how I felt about this fool. This fool don't need to be in it, right? And that's me being honest. Now, if I came back to you and said, oh, the movie's amazing, blah, 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 then you're like, well, there's something there, right? That are you being paid or what? You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you my honest review that the movie was cool, this was good, this was bad.
Yeah.
This fool did not need to be on it. This fool ruined the movie, and this fool doesn't sit with me because this fool and these Zionists like to kill innocent children and babies. So that don't sit with me when you put these fools in these movies. And Gal Gadot is one of them fools. And back in the days, I didn't really pay much attention. Like, yes, I watched her in Wonder Woman and all that sort of stuff. I wasn't as clued up until obviously in the last year and a half, or since 2018 is when I started reading up a bit more. But to see the extreme evilness of these people, of what's happening in Gaza, that these Zionists are doing, like breaking every single one of the international law and just being as evil can be. And I'm talking about of killing not just innocent people, which is bad enough, but happy to kill children and babies. I'm done with these type of people. I'm trying to say, like, I'm done. I don't want to see Godot in any movie. I don't want to see these fools in any movie. I'm done with that. You're disgusting people. You're evil. You're evil as a human being. I don't even know if you're a human. You're an evil thing. So of course I'm going to boycott that shit. Don't sit with me. So anyway, give shout outs to Rachel for being brave and sticking to her guns. I hope there's people out there that will hire her for jobs. I know that the industry tried to boycott and whatnot, but I hope there are people out there hiring for jobs. Doesn't mean I'm going to go watch them. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I hope her career doesn't die here, because that's what they're trying to do to this poor 22-year-old girl who has talent and was brave enough to stick up. I mean, sticking on the industry and whatnot, the industry that it's just so hypocritical, man. So they just gave out an Oscar to the movie No Other Land, the documentary No Other Land, right? The director, bro, right? The co-director was attacked by a bunch of Zionist Israeli settlers, right? Disgusting racist people who kidnapped him. They beat him up and whatnot. They probably heard about his award and everything. They beat him up in the West Bank and everything. And then the IOF police or whatever, the Israeli police took him away. They kept him and they abused him even more. I don't know exactly what they did, but they basically beat him and injured him and all that sort of stuff, right? And you know what? The industry, the Oscars, the one industry that just gave him a freaking Oscar, didn't say shit. Now you have a whole bunch of actors like Mark Ruffalo and a whole bunch of them who put up a petition saying, we've got to speak up for our fellow person in the industry and whatnot. Many actors and directors and producers did. But many didn't. And the Oscars and the main industry itself didn't say nothing. What kind of bullshit is this, man? The guy just won an Oscar for what the hell's happening in the West Bank and in Palestine. And he goes straight back to exactly go through what he demonstrated, what he showed in his documentary. And then the industry didn't even want to speak out for him. What kind of shit is that?
So recently I've stepped away for a bit because it was ruining my mental health and my thought process about it, because you could get consumed by it and you lose hope in the process. But I think what's happening right now is clearly a direction to tell us people that they can do things like this and get away with it. And our government and the US government have nothing. They can't do nothing because that state has had them in such a chokehold. And I said this from the beginning, bro. In such a chokehold that they just get away. They get away with it.
America, especially, gonna understand that they've been occupied by the Zionists, by Israel since back then. They don't occupy anyone. They're not the greatest country in the world. They have been occupied by Zionists for the longest time. When are they gonna? I mean, people are waking up now, which is great, but people need to wake up even more to understand that America's not America first. It's Israel first. It's Zionists first, right? And people need to wake up and fight for their country, man, because what Trump's trying to do now The annexing of the West Bank, they're trying to do it. The ethnic cleansing of Gaza, they're trying to do it. They want to go to war with Iran, bombing Yemen. They're bombing, the Zionists are bombing Lebanon, Syria, all of this. None of it stopped. We had a ceasefire, but none of it stopped because they have occupied the US and they run the US and they run the Western world. And that's why they could get away with everything. Like literally being the most evil people on the planet, and they can get away with it. And no one is stepping in to do anything, right? The whole world is not. I mean, there's a certain countries, but unfortunately, the big superpowers are not stepping in to do anything. I'm talking about, boycotting and sanctions and all this sort of stuff. But no, it's not happening. It's only gonna get worse because Trump has become the warmonger that everyone wanted him to be. He went out there saying that he's not about war, he's anti-war, and now he's just a part of that system, and he is now a warmonger, and he wants to go and go.
Puppet, bro, puppet. Yeah. He's the best kind of puppet. Or listen, as I said, guys, this clearly shows they don't care. And this is proof they don't even care if it's out there, bro, because all the news outlets are letting people know that they got done by the IDF. But this is, I don't care, put that out. Doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen to us. That is clear proof. Clear proof. Clear proof. Clear proof. If people don't want to wake up now, Lord knows which reality you guys are in. And I'm sorry. I feel sorry because of the empathy you don't have. A lot of people have, though. That's the main thing. But such a shame to hear that, to see that as well. Did you see him all bust up, bro? It made me more angry, bro. It made me more angry. And, hearing about the aid workers the other day as well made me cry. Like, I was, there were hands tied behind their back, shot in the head and the chest. That's assassin stuff, bro. The aid workers, they were there to help people.
Evil people.
Bro, and again, not a care. It's all over the news, bro. No sorries, no nothing, bro. It's
because they can get away with it, bro. They done the biggest child massacre about a couple of weeks ago. Nothing. Nobody. All this. I condemn, and that's it. No one is actually doing anything because they can't. They got they're occupied by everyone. They've occupied everyone. It's just ridiculous. The fear that they have is ridiculous. They're controlled. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting that the world just stands by and just does nothing while the most evil regime on the planet is doing what they're doing to a bunch of human beings in Palestine. It's the most disgusting thing ever. And it's clearly shown in the last year how much they control, how much they don't give a shit about anyone, how much they don't care about international law, how much they don't care about, their true plans have come out, the occupation, how evil they are. All of this has come out. Whether any country or leadership's going to do anything, that's not going to happen. They're all scared. So let's just hope that the general people keep learning. It's super important that we keep sharing this information, because the general people have to see how evil these people are, because that's how, for the last, 40 years, their propaganda campaign, especially, has allowed them to get away with everything. But that has broke because of the internet, because of people sharing and whatnot. So we have to keep that trend going on. We can't allow them, even though they're getting away with it, we can't allow them to get away with us not knowing. We have to know how evil they are. And inshallah, in the future, there'll be a free Palestine, there'll be the free Jewish religion, because we spoke about this before. They've definitely occupied the Jewish religion and hijacked that and using that religion in vain. But yeah, that I want to touch on those things, man. Let's move on. Let's move on with some other news that we got. We'll finish off with some of the other news, man. All right. So there was a Comic-Con thing that happened recently, right? So Keanu Reeves is confirmed to come back as John Wick in John Wick 5. He's confirmed. Before there was confirmation that John Wick 5 is happening, there was confirmation it is Keanu Reeves coming back. It's confirmed. Keanu Reeves is back. I like it. I like it. Give me more. While he's still young, while he can still do it, give me more. Let it be fun. I don't care. That's my opinion. On top of that, Donnie Yen is set to direct the Caine spin-off movie. So I don't know if this is Donnie Yen's debut director. Maybe in Hollywood it is.
In Hollywood, yeah,
that's big that he's gonna have creative control over it, directorial control over it. Because I feel like his martial arts, his ability will just be absolutely fantastic for him to have full control. So that's fun news. Moving on. Zack Snyder to direct a movie called Brawler, teaming up with Dana White and the UFC and Saudi's minister Turkey al-Sheikh. So this movie, we spoke about this before. So this movie is going to be about an LA man who rises the world of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So it's going to be an MMA movie. Listen, the best boxing movie in the world is definitely going to be Rocky. You got Raging Bull up there. There's so many other martial art movies, boxing movies. There's had a few MMA ones, I would have to say, what's it called, Brother Warrior? For me, I know certain analysts like Joe Rogan and Dana White, they don't like that movie. I like that movie. The brother relationship between the two brothers was also amazing. There was that show on the show that came out, and I think that was called Warrior as well with Frank Grillo. That was a great MMA show, which I thought was pretty good. But we're talking about an MMA movie with the UFC, which is the #1 prime MMA organization in the world, right? Everyone knows if you're a UFC champion, not only are you the best fighter in the world, but you're also going to be the most marketed fighter in the world. So to make that kind of movie under Zack Snyder, I mean, listen, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Zack Snyder. I'm a fan of movies, and I'm a fan of MMA and the UFC. So for me, I am that target audience, man. I'm actually super looking forward to seeing what this is. I just hope it's good, for my opinion. That's all I want it to be. Hopefully that is good. And
I'm sure it will be, bro. I think Zack Snyder will bring a different element to the kind of the visuals of it, and I think it'd be interesting to see what they do with this. And it won't be CGI heavy, so it'd be something different for Zack Snyder as well. But he's always been a good visual. He's a guy who follows a storyboard. He's a visual guy, so I feel like the visuals of it will look absolutely amazing. So let's see. We'll wait and see what happens.
That's it. And I feel like with Dana White and this Turkey guy behind him, they were like, you have creative control. There'll be no need for a director's cut. Here you go. Do what you need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would be good for him. Okay, cool. Amazon's God of War TV series already gets to season 2 before season 1 has been released or has even a release date. So I'm getting this from IGN.com. So apparently, they've already given a green light for season 2. So I don't even know how good season 1's going to be. God of War, Kratos is one of the greatest video game characters of all time, in my opinion. They got to get that show right. Kratos is such a great character. God of War game series are amazing. So you need to give me not just that story, but that amazing character, that amazing, the gameplay. I don't know how you bring that onto the screen, but it's got to have that sort of brutality and the way he fights these big monsters and chops off their heads and, climbs on top of them. Then I want to see all of that, right? So hopefully this show brings you that. But, if they bring you a season 2 before season 1 is even being released or giving us a start date or a release date, then there's got to be something, man. I hope Amazon's got tons of money, man. Spend the monies and give us what we want. Okay, what's next? Jonathan E. Steinberg and Dan Schultz in talks to write and produce and show one live-action Power Rangers series at Disney Plus. So this show, the Percy Jackson and the Olympian showrunners Jonathan E. Steinberg and Dan Schultz are in talks to write the Power Rangers show, man. I mean, so when you go back and watch, look, Power Rangers, we grew up with that in the 90s, man, and that was fun, right? That was fun, And then they done a reboot. I mean, they got into a whole load of stuff, man. Power Rangers Future and all this sort of stuff. I never watched any of that sort of stuff. And then there was a Power Rangers movie that came out a couple of years back. When you watch it and you're like, actually, this wasn't too bad. Now, if they give us a show with great, like great costume design, great martial arts, a great story, I mean, man, it could bring Power Rangers back, bro. It could bring them back, in my opinion. It could be fun.
And I want them to, bro, because to be honest, I wanted a sequel to that first movie. That one that we got recently with, what's his name? Can't remember. He was in Stranger Things anyway. I thought he was a great leader. Bro, I thought that was a good movie. I've actually watched that several times and really enjoyed it. So was hoping that we would get a sequel to it because I thought, everything was really good. It went well. We had a great storyline to it. But the problem is with those big franchises, we've already got big fan base already on there. So if the fan base are not enjoying it and not accepting new stories to come through, because listen, Power Rangers have crossed with Marvel, DC, gaming characters. They've like had crossovers. Uh, there's like such a big mythology to it. But people nitpick because probably fans of the original of the TV series and they want it to have that sort of same theme line. And what they don't seem to want to understand is that you can't follow these theme lines. You have to see each art piece as its own. Each representation of these characters brand new. So I'd be interested to see what they do with it, bro. I'm all for it, bro. If I get the chance to continue to see Power Rangers 40 years later, that's insane, bro. And then as an adult to be like, I can watch this with the kids. They could get into martial arts in a different level. Because listen, how many kids did this introduce martial arts to as well? So listen, man, it's all about the art form, man. If it gives you some sort of discipline and guidance in life, then Power Rangers, let's go, man. Go, Power Rangers, man. I'm on it.
Go Power Rangers, man. Definitely. Well, we'll wait and see, man. We'll wait and see. And especially with TV shows these days, I feel like they just have so much more time to breathe and give us good storylines.
Exactly.
So we'll wait
exactly.
and see. All right, cool. Moving on. Documentary #1 on the call sheet about the history of Black Hollywood aims to be a blueprint for generations to come. So Will Smith, Jamie Foxx, Angela Bassett, Halle Berry, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and a lot more are among the prominent Black actors. Is Dwayne Black? I mean, I guess he's up there. I don't know. Leading on Apple TV's 2-part documentary #1 on the call sheet. Now, I believe Jamie Foxx and Kevin Hart are highly involved in the production of this. So #1 call sheet, Black Leading Men in Hollywood, was directed by Renald Hoodlin, while Shola Lynch directed the second film #1 on the call sheet, Black Leading Woman in Hollywood. The roster of stars is of who's in Hollywood and who made themselves available for the documentary. Yeah, so that should be interesting, man. I mean, that should be interesting to see. Interesting documentary to see, Black Hollywood. Listen, I think trying to find the right words for this, man. Hollywood is definitely being something where in generation that you've got certain individuals who broke through in Hollywood, right? Bruce Lee, for example, for Asian people back then. Black people. I don't know who the pioneer was, to be honest with you, but I'm sure there was a pioneer back then.
Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier,
okay.
I think it's right. Yeah. And I think he's one of the first guys to get an Oscar as well. So it's a tough one. Definitely a tough one. But it'd be interesting to see where they like how they do this as well. And I think it's important. But we've got a massive amount of amazing lead role actors. Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali is one of my favorites.
He is, man. I think he's absolutely amazing actor. You got Denzel. So the leading actors have been there, even if they've been sidelined or different types of. They've always been there. They've been prominent, man. Listen, I don't think somebody like Samuel Jackson will be where he is without his persistence and being out there and putting himself out there. Same thing with other actors as well. There's a list, bro. Idris Elba. These guys. I look at their work and I still get inspired by it. I mean, what Idris does. The fact that he is an actor, he's a DJ, he's a creator. He puts himself out there. You got Ashley Waters, who went from music into directing to doing all of these TV shows to Top Boy to bringing out some amazing stuff, bro. These guys are influential. I still look to these guys to say, oh man, he did this. What can we do, to drop an idea in? I had a meeting the other day with an old friend named Archer that I haven't seen in a while. He's been thinking about doing something, and I was like, bro, the fact that you even had me in mind to jump on this, I'm super happy. So let's work on together and do something, see what we can bring. You know what I mean? Because those prominent role models have influenced us in the work we do. The thing about us, we've never seen race as a common denominator where it was like, oh, he needs to be Bengali, or he needs to be Muslim, or he needs to be Caucasian for me to aspire to. No, man. The guy's given me great art. I love what he's done. It's inspired me. Where do I go next? You know, how do I do this next? Like Jamie Foxx, bro. Like regardless, like, you know, he's got a massive catalog of movies
He's like
and
a renaissance man. He could do everything. Comedy, movies,
everything.
singing,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. But his comedy, you know, uh, that especially his original one that he came out. I love that one, man. Like that's what I'll always remember him for is his stand-up comedy, what he brings, the joy he brings, the way he makes me laugh as well. Like there are some moments in that like that I still cry when I watch it now in laughter because of how funny it is. Uh, I think and this is just me personally, this is what I'm saying, is we've always taken race out of it. Like, you know, we grew up on a culture where hip hop is our main go-to, you know. But I've never seen it that way. It's because it's been stories that have been told. That's what I've been connected to, the stories and the person. And I think racism works in such a way where now that, you know, the industry, the way it works, you know, people ask you questions like, you know, you're the first Bengali man to do this, or you're the first black man to do this. You're the first person to do something like this, that you bring something different to the industry. If questions were separated, I feel like questions now, when you ask it, are not, what's the word? You don't treat people as equal. You've already segregated them. Oh, you're the first black person to do this. You're the first Muslim to do this. You're the first Bengali person to do this. And that's where we've always been wrong as the human. This is my opinion, guys. This is why we've been wrong with humanity from day dot because of the segregation. And that was all already taught in history and already done in history. You know, man, we could go for a long list, but you start praising people for the work that they're doing, then you know, it's weird because I kind of agree with what Morgan Freeman said. You know, Black History Month, we don't need that. You know, why do you have to create these things to segregate people? Because it will. And that's just me personally. That's how I think. But I feel like everybody shines in their own way, and we can shine in so many ways. But race, color, creed, religion doesn't have to be involved. But we live in a society where it is, and that's the hard part. And people are taught hate, and that's why we have to have all of it. And listen, I've got nothing wrong with all those awards and the rest of it, and achievements and channeling what's the word? Channeling our communities. I think that's important. You know, channeling our communities, working with the communities is so important. But like, you know, I feel like they play a prominent role in my life anyway, bro. Like I think they bring so much joy, happiness, creativeness to the industry that they shine more than they think they do. And we're always and I've realized as well, like, and we're always fighting for a place. We're always fighting for a place. And I don't want my kids to grow up like that, man. I don't want my kids to grow up like that. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Kudos
I
to them.
mean,
Sorry, went into a bit of a
yeah.
rant there, but
No, I mean, listen, I think you just touched on a few points. I'll just say, like, this is why the whole DEI thing didn't work because you forced it upon everyone. If you really want it a part of everything, you give people the opportunities and then you allow them to you make it natural. You make it natural. This was a great movie. This was a great piece of content from this individual. People could see who the individual is for themselves, but you don't have to say, you're right, the first Muslim, the first brown person, whatever. No, this is the individual. I just make it more natural to say this person created that. You don't have to say this is what they look like and this is what they believe in, because that's when it becomes unnatural, because you start talking about those things. Talk about the individual and people and bring more of those individuals in naturally. And then you're going to have a great, not only you're going to have a great DEI whole thing, whatever the hell that is, but you're going to have a whole bunch of great content, right? Which is what really makes the money, which is what you guys really want,
art,
right?
art, art,
So,
art. I hate
yeah,
that word content. Art.
yeah, so art. So that's what I'm trying to say. Make it normal. Don't bring in the race. Just say this individual done this. You can decide if you want to look into what this person looks like or whatnot. You can get inspired by what this person looks like. It's important to the individuals and the industry to just naturally bring these people in. Just let them work, let them do their work and bring them in, give them opportunities. So anyway, it should be a very interesting documentary. So looking forward to when that comes out.
Yeah, no,
A
definitely.
couple,
Go on,
yeah.
bro.
A couple of things to finish up on releases and stuff that have been pushed back and whatnot. So the Street Fighter live action movie has been removed from Sony's release calendar, which was supposed to be July 2026.
Dun, dun,
Instead, a
dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun,
movie
dun,
called Beneath the
dun.
Storm shifts to July 2026, and
Okay.
is renamed to Shiver. Anyway, so the series of changes in slate of upcoming Sony movies has been released. Legendary Street Fighter film, which just got its director, which was the guy who done Fast and Furious. I forgot his name now.
Justin
Adaptation
Lin.
originally just Lester. Yeah, he just was the director. So they just got a director. Maybe he had some thoughts, which is why they had to move it. So actually, this Street Fighter movie was originally set for March 20th, 2026. But it's been released from this calendar and it's been shifted. Street Fighter will be a
Okay.
co-production between developers at Capcom, Japanese video game developers who launched the original franchise in 1987, and Legendary, who scooped up the TV and film rights for the prolific game series in 2023. Further details about the film, such as the plot, cast, director, writer, are all currently unknown. I don't know if they got any other dates scheduled for it, man. So it's on hold indefinitely until further notice. Put it that way, which is a
Mm-hmm.
shame. Which is a shame, but
Definitely.
maybe it's for a good reason. Maybe it's a good reason. Hopefully, it comes out. They do something good with the Street Fighter series.
No, same, definitely. I think it deserves it. I think it was I think it's great what they're gonna do, man. Take your time with it. I think projects need to take their time. I mean, as we got what was your next thing on the list to jump on? Was it Spider-Man?
Yep, we've got a few Spider-Man releases. So basically, you
Yeah,
got
boy.
Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. We have to wait, but it's set to come out in 2027 release date. Reveals first at Comic-Con. I believe it was June 4th, 2027, man. So couple years we gotta wait. But let it brew, man. Let that one brew. Why not? Oh no, Kibbs is still there. Oh no, he's left. Yeah. So I say let them brew, let them have some time. 2027. I know it's a long time away, but this is the third installment in Sony's animation web slinging trilogy. Will swing into action in 2024. 2027. These animations from Sony's have been top class, top class. So I know we want more of them.
They're
But
some of the
number
best
one
movie
was
making,
amazing.
bro.
Number
Yeah.
two was great. So let number three be great as well. Give it time.
Let it brew, exactly. Let it brew. Listen, they've got their issues in the background, but do you want a great movie instead of the shit turnaround we get on like really quick films that come out that don't really make no sense and doesn't connect really well? Listen, bro, take your time. It took James Cameron 14 years to give us Avatar 2. It gave him 11 years to give us Terminator 2. Like some of the best sequels ever made. Okay, I don't know about Avatar 2, but Terminator 2, amazing. So listen, like there's no need to rush. I think we have been spoiled with art that we get consistently on the go, on demand, which is probably a bad thing because you burn out that way and you don't get quality in what you got. So I'm happy with that. We're gonna get some quality. Bro, Spider-Verse, I love it, man. I love it. I watched Across the Spider-Verse the other day with Alara. She absolutely loved it. Uh, and asking questions about Spider-Gwen and the Spider-Verse, and she was like, like, can we watch the first one? And I was like, there you go. But
Mm.
because they're quality, good storytelling, good animation, she looked at some of the panels and she was like, that looks amazing, Baba. Like look at that. Like it looks like paint. And I was like, yeah, you've got the concept. So it's like, bring me that sort of stuff where it will inspire the next generation. But take your time with it. So I'm happy that it's taking longer. There's no rush. I think I'm getting a bit more patient with what's happening at the moment. I was a bit because we were getting it so quick, bro. Because we were getting it
Yeah.
so quick. But I've realized with what's happening currently in the world right now, and with having a bit more patience and a slowdown, because as you can see, guys, we slowed down in the podcast recently only because of how life has been. But I feel like the podcasts have more quality to it. We're getting better opportunities, which is great as well, means we get to do more cool stuff. But I don't have to be, like last year, the last 2 years, we were at everything. You don't have to be, I've realized. You could have great quality, talk about the great good things as well, wait for things, let it marinate. Same thing, like, watching Cap, like late, it was too late. By then it's already out in cinema. And I caught it. I caught it in a way where I was like, all right, let's stream this. And I'll be honest, of course, uh, But I wanted to show love to the movie. I really respect Anthony Mackie. I really respect his art form. I really excited to see him in this role. It was only because of that one thing that threw me off to say so hard because you want to support your brothers and sisters in that industry as well. And why not support this character who means so much more to give us anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely. And listen, I can never tell anyone, you need to do that. You should have spoke. Nah, that's everyone's individual responsibility. That's on them. It's not on anyone else to tell anyone else. So, but yeah, listen, um, I'm patient now. I can be patient. So I'm cool for
Same.
it to take time. On the Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, Spider-Man 4 gets its official title, which is named Spider-Man Brand New Day. And that is scheduled to be released on
2026.
2026. There was an exact date. I had the date. Where was it gone? July 31st, 2026. So
That's next year, man.
that is next year. I mean, look, with the Spider-Man movies, I have been thinking about this with the MCU one. They have been quite consistent with them. Now, they've all been great. I've been enjoying all of them. Tom Holland's a great Spider-Man. They've had great direction. He's been part of the MCU. They've been bringing in MCU characters, which always made these movies fun. The last one I would have to say is legendary, man. The Spider-Verse and all that sort of stuff, bringing back characters. So that was awesome. I want to say that was one of the first movies. Maybe Doctor Strange was the first one, but to bring back some of the old Fox and whatever movies, you know what I mean, and Sony and whatever characters back into the MCU. But these Spider-Man movies are fun, and there's a lot with this character, man. I mean, after what he went through in the last one, now being big part of the MCU, I'm interested to see what happens. I'm not gonna lie, as I watch Daredevil, I'm kind of like, oh shit, is he gonna show up? He's been commented and he's been caught, Kingpin has brought him up a few times, He is a street level character. Like, he doesn't have to be just that blockbuster. Like, you put him in, why not? But anyway, this one's coming out next year. Maybe this will be his introduction into the whole Secret Wars. If he's not in Doomsday, maybe they'll do a couple movies. He'll be in Secret Wars or whatnot. But we'll see. I'm sure there'll be a connection there. So that's awesome, guys. Spider-Man, loads of Spider-Man stuff coming out. The other things that got a release date was Legend of Zelda, the live-action film set to be released March 2027. So another one you got to wait for. It's another one from Sony. Sony are really digging into these video games, man. There's a good market for the video games. I mean, video games in general have a great storyline, right? Now, if you could take that, put that on a big screen, if you could take the characteristics and put that on a big screen, you got yourself success. And there's been a few, right? Last of Us is probably one of the most successful ones. Mario, Sonic, they've been successful, So if they do good with God of War, Zelda, I never played, I'm not going to lie, but you got loads of fans out there that played and followed Zelda's story. So there's a lot of story to be told there. It's looking to come out on my birthday, March 26, 2027. So if you're a Zelda fan, got a bit of time to wait for, but just hope that this time that they're taking is a time that you're going to be using to make the movie that you want as a Zelda fan. So
no, 100%, 100%. I think it's gonna be great, bro. It's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be fun. It's just making sure that the people understand the love for these projects and the fans as well. Because when you give the fans good fan service, like, listen, bro, Super Mario Bros. I absolutely loved it. It didn't bother me that it was Chris Pratt's voice and it didn't have that Mario, like that sort of Italian twang to it. I thought it was great. The film is great, bro. I've seen that several times, and Lara loves that one as well. Recently got another game, animation game. What do we get?
Sonic, Last of Us.
Sonic.
No, Minecraft.
Minecraft, that's come out. And look, listen, these are marketed for kids. It's not for adults. Bro, I got some abuse on our Twitter the other day, bro, or X or whatever it's called at the moment now, because somebody else has bought it out. Guac or something. Minecraft, bro, because we put, Idris, like I blanked out his face, and we gave Idris his thoughts in it. Like he had good fun with the characters, uh, and he thinks Jack Black and Jason Momoa were funny as a team. Like cute stuff, bro. That's my
So
nephew
what
there.
was
You know
so
what I
what
mean?
was the
People are
abuse?
like, it's just random abuse and attacks, bro. You're getting paid for it, all the rest of it. Uh, it's like kids can't enjoy stuff no more.
Wait,
Like,
you had adults abusing you because Idris went and watched the movie and said he liked it. Are they saying that the movie wasn't good or what? What are they saying?
yeah, that's what they're saying. Like the movie's not good.
Alright.
Anyway,
What can you say with these people? Listen, man, you're getting a kid's. That's why you sent Idris, because Idris is a fan. He's a young how old is he now? 9, 8 year old
yeah,
kid
yeah,
who loves watching Minecraft, who loves the game, and whatnot. So you sent him to watch it. Like you sent a fan to watch it, and he gave his fan. I don't care if he's 9 years old. He's a fan. He's like, I liked it, man. This is what I want to
yeah.
see. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Let people complain, man. If you're a grown ass adult and you're playing those games and you don't like the movie and you're upset with that, that's on you, man. Why take it out on a little? Anyway, ignore that shit. Ignore
No,
that.
of course you have to ignore it. The fact that people have the thing is, I think with fandom now, bro, we have, and this is the point I brought across, is that with those games they have such a fandom, and not just for the new generation. You talk about the older generation, like Jakub loves Zelda, bro. He absolutely, him
Yeah.
and Javid,
Yes.
they
Yeah.
love Zelda, bro. So for
Yeah.
them, it's gonna be deep,
They
and
should
they're
go.
excited. You know what I mean? But for somebody like us who I played some of it, not all of it. I did like some of the. I think they brought it out for the DS, not the DS. Was it Nintendo DS? Which I played a couple of times, but I'm not big. Ash will know a little bit more, but we're Sega guys. We grew up on Sega, so we'll know more about the Sega stuff. Uh, but me, because I've never played Minecraft, I've seen it, but I think like Ash said, think about it. Ash is outside the box. Here's a guy who watches his son plays that game, but him saying, you know what? The film is about creativity. It's about expanding your mind and growing and being as creative as you want. And he goes, he had fun. He thinks Jack Black and Jason Momoa had really good screen time and what's the word? Chemistry, because
Chemistry. Yeah.
they bounce off each other so well. And it's a wacky, silly movie. Minecraft, guys, the concept of Minecraft is building worlds, being as creative as possible, being wacky and crazy as possible as you want. What are you expecting from this, man? Some Oscar-worthy, deep story, Inception type of storytelling, Interstellar. It's all about love and transcends time and all that business. Like, go enjoy a film for what it is, guys. I think people are starting to lose their minds over things like that. And listen, as you said, we have critiqued on stuff. We nitpick on stuff, but this is a 9-year-old boy who loves Minecraft, who really enjoyed it, as I did when I saw Neverending Story, as I did when I saw Back to the Future. You know, those movies will have their potholes and it don't make no sense. I'll still defend it. I love that movie. It's a bitch, you know what I mean? Those movies will play a crucial part in his adulthood when he grows up and he sees that movie when he's in his 40s and he'll be like, you know what? Legend. Remember, guys, I talk about legend. That he will have that photo with his dad at that screening and he'll go back and say, you know what? I had some really cool uncles that got me to go watch this premiere. What else would you want as a grand uncle or granddad, an uncle to hear stories like that? You want people to talk about stories. This is what you can do for them. You know what I mean? I want
Yeah.
to inspire parents to be able to think about the future and legacy. Look, money, all the rest of it, and the hardships that we're going to go through, we're going to go through. There's a shitload. We're going through shitloads at the moment now. But those key moments, man, those key moments, like to bring a child's happiness, to buying a tricycle, to bring so much joy to a child that, Alara's like, oh my God, she can't stop smiling. That's amazing. Like, when people notice that, you want, you just want your kids, it's hard enough. You just want your kids to be proud of your parents, proud of your kids. and my niece and nephew as well. I want them to be proud of us as well to say that. And now they've got a great memory there. I know he was really upset because when I went there on Eid Day, he was like, "Oh, Sasa, we're gonna go watch Minecraft together." And I wasn't well, so I was like, I don't want to be in that screening because I had a really bad chest infection, coughing and losing. So I did have one ticket, and shout outs to Warner Brothers for sorting that out so quickly because originally it was supposed to be me, Alara, and Idris. Uh, but last minute we had to change it up, so Ash takes Idris, and he was really upset that I couldn't go to that screening. And he was like, "Oh, are you joking?" He kept on saying, "Are you joking?" throughout the whole time before he left. Are you joking? Are you joking? That's us. I'm really alright. It's not. I don't want to go there and make anybody else ill or just cough throughout the whole screening. But he had a great time, and I want people to know that. And that's what I'm saying. Fandom can be. We live in a time now where fandom is so toxic, bro. It's so toxic. It's insanely toxic and insanely bad. And be happy we get this art form, guys, still going right now. We maybe not like a lot of the stuff, but see the goodness in it, man. See the goodness. Because remember, it's not marketed for us. It's not marketed for me. That's to sell kids toys and more games and more Minecraft. See the concept. Same thing will happen with Zelda. Same thing will happen with Sonic. Same thing that happened with The Last of Us. Think about it. How many people got that game, even not knowing the concept of this and loving it so much? There's a legacy there for them, for those marketing companies, for those big companies. That how's the longevity of this? They're selling legacy games again, bro. Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think. Anyway, there we go.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, I'm glad Idris got an opportunity to go watch that movie. Good for him. And I probably won't. I'll probably watch it when it comes out on a service that could catch it. But good for Idris, man. I'm glad he got that opportunity because that's epic. Because I know how much of a fan he is. So that's amazing. Anything else from the news, bro? Before we get into and finish off with a couple of things that we've watched. Anything
No.
DC come out of this Comic Con that I missed?
Oh, sorry. So they show in like an extended clip of Superman before Minecraft when it's out. I think it's out next week, this Friday. They're showing an extended clip, and then they are. We'll probably see that clip very soon. They talked about the movie. They did a little panel with James Gunn, Peter Safran, David Corenswet was there, Rachel, Nicholas Hoult was there as well. They talked, I think, about 30 minutes about the film. They didn't talk about any other projects. They just talked about Superman, and I think that's great that they can focus on that a lot more as well. Listen, man, I'm super excited. There is like a lot happening at the moment now. The next couple of months is going to be based on, the Superman promotion. I'm not going to watch any more trailers or anything like that. I'm going to stay away from it. Or I know that they released another TV spot or something like that, but I'm staying away from it all. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, bro. Definitely looking forward to seeing what they do. There was a couple of other movie announcements as well, but other than that, nothing major, bro.
All right, cool. I mean, look, let's finish off with stuff that we watch. Listen, with Daredevil, we don't need to go into it too much. I think we should do like a full-on review at the end of the season,
Yeah.
maybe. But last week's episode was fun. Little cameo with Kamala Khan's dad, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Was really cool. I think it was a great way to kind of introduce him properly into the MCU. No need to have Kamala Khan in there. I feel like her dad was a perfect replacement or perfect person to have in there to kind of collaborate those two. I think personally, Kamala
100%.
Khan would have been a bit more. It would have been a bit more. I don't know, not too great, in my opinion. I think her dad was a perfect choice. Listen, the show has been great. I've been enjoying it. I just saw last episode yesterday.
I haven't seen that yet.
Let's do a review when it's done. When it's done, I think we should do a show review at the end rather than getting into it.
Listen, I'm happy to do that. My main fear is they're going to do the Rush, the Marvel TV series Rush. How did you feel after the last episode? Did it feel rushed? Because we've only got 2 more episodes left. Be honest.
The rush is not the word. I just don't feel the urgency. Like I even with Kingpin, I know he's the main dude, and I know it all leads to him, but I don't feel the urgency with him. I don't feel that big leader because, I don't want to spoil anything or whatnot. But that's what I'm not feeling. Also, I'm a Punisher fan, and you tease so much Punisher, and I haven't got him back yet. So from a Punisher fan, I'm like, where's Pun? Like, what are you guys leading up to? Like, can you not do more investigation work with him in there? So I mean, it's a Daredevil show. It doesn't need to be in it. The only thing I'm feeling is like there might be a rush at the end because I just feel like the build up to the end, it's still not clear to me what it is or what it's going to turn out to be, except just Kingpin. I know it's going to be Kingpin, but what really? I know he's mayor and all that sort of stuff, but I'm just not feeling like there's a massive build up. But the show is like fantastic, though. I mean, it is a fantastic performance show. At the end of the day, you can't take nothing away from that. I just feel like there's something where it's like, I'm expecting a build up and I haven't got that yet. With the Netflix show, I feel like even though you know there was a certain amount of episodes, you could just feel it building and building and building and building. Whereas this one, I'm like, you feel the build up and then I think it stopped. And you feel the build up and then I feel it stops. I'm just like, what's the finale gonna be? And is it really gonna be that task force that Wilson Fisk put forward? Okay, like, okay, we'll wait and see, I guess. You know, like Hand had a presence, Fisk has a presence, but in this is the mayor. And I'm not saying he doesn't have a presence, but it's amazing how you see him fighting between the two responsibilities of being a mayor, but he's truly a gangster. Um, Good show though. I am definitely enjoying it. Put it that way. I'm very excited to watch it every week. It's a very good show. So let's do a review. Once I finish watching it, let's do a review. After you've seen this week's episode, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, I will do, man. I'm scared of the, as you said, the urgency in the character. I'm scared that we are going to get it's standard. I'm going to shout. I'm going to call it out now. We are going to get the last minute Marvel rush, which I'm afraid of. Which is going to be the end scene where Daredevil and Punisher kill that task force. There's nothing going to be
Yeah,
leading
that's
on
what it
to
looks
this. Going to
like.
lead
Yeah,
this. This is going to lead on to uh, season 2, where Fisk it will have more Fisk involved. But I think the finale of this season would be Pun and Daredevil killing that task
but they
force.
don't. I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what it looks like it's leading to. But that task force doesn't feel like a threat to me. Like when I say
Okay.
to me, I'm talking about to Daredevil and Punisher. Punisher will just shoot them off. Daredevil's going to try and beat them up, but like they don't seem like too much of a threat. Where when I saw them two teaming up against the Hand or something, it was awesome. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that
there
makes
was a
sense. Yeah.
threat there. This task force doesn't seem like they fit that they fit. And plus, I don't know if these task force. I still don't even think that the members of the task force are that bad for Punisher to kill him. Like Punisher is going to kill. Let's be real, right? So I'm already thinking about who he's going to kill. To me,
Yeah.
they don't come across as like that evil for him to be like, I'm going to kill him. You know what I mean? So it's that element too, man. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll wait and see. Wait and see, I guess. If it's that, so be it, and I'm sure they'll give us a conclusive story. And, at least we know Daredevil's back. He's in the MCU, Punisher's back, all that sort of stuff. It's great to just have it back. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100%, bro. 100%. It'd be interesting to see where they go with it, and yeah, let's see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens. We can only wait and see. Like, I'm predicting it only because I just feel like what Marvel have done in their previous TV shows, and that's what scares me the most. That's what scares me the most is that we'll get that Marvel, Moon Knight, bro. Amazing show. Split
Mm.
personality disorder, mental health. Uh, Oscar Isaac's amazing. They built this up and then bow, man, that last 2 episodes lose. Secret Invasion. They had such a great concept there. Ruined last 2 episodes. Lose. What the hell? Where did it go to?
Yeah, that
Where
whole
did it go
thing,
to, bro?
whatever
Where
the
did
hell
it go
that was,
to?
yeah.
I don't know what that was. So it makes no sense. It feels like they had this great writing in the first couple of episodes, and then pow, like what happened? Like what anticlimax, man? Like what they did with the pun and Daredevil talking in that third episode, like
Yeah.
they should have peaked, but I feel like it dipped down a bit because it was like, here's two guys talking about losing people, and both of them trying to differentiate uh, they're justifying why they do it and how they do it, and talk about their loss in that moment where they could have continued that on. I feel like it lost that momentum and it just dropped. And like we're waiting. We're gonna patiently wait. But I just feel like it was a bit of a the next episode just was like, oh, come on, man. How you do this to me, man? How are you doing this to me? You could have done better. You could have done better.
Yeah, let's
Anyway,
do a full-on review because I got a lot to talk about that's what I'm saying, that tone, man, because you had the pun, which was and one of the best dialogues ever, and it went viral, and that dialogue between those two was the best. And then the next two episodes, you gave us two episodes in 1 week, in one week, and they were great, but it's like you didn't continue with what you had. You had something so amazing. And then this week was also amazing, but just didn't continue. So when we watch the full thing, then we would know. Then we would know where it ends up and how it ends up and where it takes us.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, bro. Definitely.
Yeah. So all right, let's move on. Let's move on. I managed to watch Novocaine with Jack Quaid, which is
Yes.
awesome, guys. If you haven't seen the interviews, check them out now. They're on our channel. You need to watch them. They're doing really well and everything. But I got a chance to watch the movies. Great fun movies, man. I mean, that's what I was expecting from this movie. Nothing else but fun, easy to watch, sort of comedy action. I kept on looking at his hand the whole movie. I was like, oh, his hand's so butters when he put it in the fire and whatnot to get the gun. I thought that was hilarious. His hand kept on making me laugh for some reason because how
Yeah,
butters it
yeah.
was. But I think, the story between him and the girl, just little romance story, the guy trying to be the hero, the guy the ordinary dude who has one super ability who can't feel pain, which I think was what justified him being able to be a hero rather than just being able to pick up and just kill up their bad mans as a random dude. He had this little ability where he's not able to feel pain, which kind of
Yeah.
reserved him from the world. Like, you would think that he turned it into a superpower, but he was kind of very much reserved from the world because there's a possibility that he could die because he would be bleeding and not feel the pain and die off and whatnot. So he just kind of kept himself from doing anything, going out and everything. But that was a nice little, because at the end of the day, it was a disease or something that he had, and it kind of prevented him from being in the world. And he was just awkward character, and he finally found a girl that was interested in him, and obviously there was a little twist there, but it was nice that he was able to become that hero. And like I said, it was easy to watch. It was fun. Jack Quaid's got this funny, easy to watch chemistry on screen, like a it's easy to absorb his content or his art basically. He's funny, he's sort of charming, and the
He
action
is,
was
man. Listen,
fun,
man.
man.
It's a fun movie, fun action date flick movie. I gotta say, like, I fully listen, man. I got to see it a month before it came out in cinema because we got to do the press junket on it, and like an amazing opportunity. I can't thank Dan and Robert, for the directors, for having that time with me to have that interview. Same thing with Jack and Amber. You guys were absolutely amazing. The I couldn't only imagine what it would have been like face to face.
Mm.
Now, we were supposed to get Ray Nicholson and Jason. I don't know what the confusion was, but off the bat, just to let you know, the interviews was with Jack and Amber are our first like uh, A-star interviews that we've ever done, so which was an amazing opportunity. But we're supposed to have Ray Nicholson and Jason. I can't remember his surname, but Batatalon uh,
Yeah,
on. But we ended up having yeah, Batalon. But we had
Jacob Batalon,
Jacob.
yeah.
Sorry, Jacob. And we had this great conversation. I had all these interview questions ready for Ray and Jacob. But then we had the directors. I was like, excuse me, bro, I had to wing that. I am so lucky. I have movie knowledge in my head and winged that completely. Anyway, shout out to them. They're absolutely amazing. Jack and Amber, those interviews are out there, guys, in the world. Check it out. I'm going to put some more clips out this week on our socials, but good fun movie, man. Good fun action movie. I think Jack Quaid has this natural charm on the screen. He's very good in what he does. He reminds me both of his mum and his dad. Uh, Ahmed was saying, "Why didn't you tell Jack you had a crush on his mum?" And I was like, I don't even know how that interview would go. because it
Oh
was
my
like
God, that's hilarious.
because it's he's the product of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my
I
God.
mean, Meg Ryan definitely was, very good
Yeah,
looking, especially when
yes,
we were growing up.
that's crazy. Can you imagine starting off the interview like that? Anyway, uh, yeah, man, he's got this natural charm about him. He's very, very humbled, very, very excited about what he does. Who wouldn't be, bro? Like the guy is been in some amazing stuff at the moment. You know, he started off in the Hunger Games and moving on to the boys and the rest of it. Uh, and he has this really good charm in this film. Like, you know, he's almost like a fish out of water as well. Remember, he doesn't know how to fight or anything like that. So great, fun action movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's out in cinema at the moment. Now go check it out. Go support. He's brilliant in it. There are some funny moments in there. The hand fryer scene. Oof, if you like gore as well, it is full on. And then Jack Nicholson's son, Ray Nicholson. I've seen him in a couple of movies now. Uh, I can start to see his dad a lot more in him when he plays those characters. And in this one, he plays this sadistic bank robber that is absolutely crazy, bro. He's got his crazy moments in it. Full high octane, good fun movie with a lot of heart as well. And yeah, definitely. I'm glad you got to watch that. That's a good film. That's definitely good. I'm gonna share this with the guys at Paramount because they gave us that opportunity to speak to them as well. There was a little bit of a I didn't know if that interview was gonna happen because I'm like, all right, they told me everything's all right, and then they spelled our email wrong, so we didn't get all the interview links. So I'm like, oh my God, like I'm waiting here trying to get these interviews done. What's happening? No emails. So I emailed Paramount and they called me and they said, like, you know, have you got the emails? I was like, no, I've been waiting. I'm here with my laptop. I'm still waiting. Luckily, we got it all sorted out quickly and we got some great content out of it as well, bro. Like, I shouldn't say that. Some great heartfelt moments. I've got another clip that I'm going to share, which is the him referring to Buster Keaton and how to
Mm.
react when you're getting punched. And then he spoke a bit about him filming on The Boys at the moment. Uh, and then look at that. Within a week, bro, my guy's got a next movie coming out next month or this month with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
He
haven't
just
seen the
released a
trailer
trailer.
yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So absolutely
He's
cool.
been in a
Absolutely.
few things. There's another movie, can't remember the name of it. I was gonna watch it. I think it's like an AI movie that I've got on my
Yeah,
list to
Companion.
watch.
The
The
Companion.
Companion. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's definitely
So
doing great. We definitely enjoyed it. Me and Emma watched it. It's definitely a date night movie. It was so nice. We watched it on, I believe it was Eid Day. And it was just nice because we didn't have work the next day. It was such a that type of feeling type of movie. Be at
yeah,
home
yeah.
or cinema. We watched it at home. And it just had that vibe where you could just sit back with a bag of popcorn or junk food or whatever and just really just enjoy it, man. So great fun movie from that. The last movie that I watched was Mickey 17, which is another
Mm.
interesting, great movie. And Robert Pattinson, I've got a bit more like respect for that dude, man. He was really good in that movie.
Amazing,
Very
right?
interesting story. Yeah, very interesting story. It's almost like, man, you evil bastards. Like, they just had no compassion for this dude. I know he was a copy, but when, like, man, he still had his human thoughts and whatnot, and he still was a human
Exactly.
being in the beginning. But the fact that they had no compassion towards him was a little bit heartbreaking. Made them so evil. And then Mark Ruffalo's character definitely portrayed as someone like a Elon Musk and whatnot, and
Fucking
someone
Trump.
in that thing. And he was just such a monster as well. He was such a monster, such a like a egotistical, nasty, what's a narcissist? No, I can't say the word now.
Narcissist, yeah.
Narcissistic, um,
Bastardos.
punk, man. Yeah, man. It was just happy when he died. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this guy needs to
Spoilers.
die. Yes. Oh,
Spoilers.
spoilers. My bad. Shit. Spoilers. Yeah, I'm happy he had to go. Sorry, spoiler alert. Great movie. But Robert Pattinson, I thought he was brilliant, man. I thought
Bro,
he
I got
was
love for that
really
dude,
good.
man. That guy got
Yeah.
range. Bro, listen, do me a favor. When you get the chance, watch a movie called Good Times.
Good times. Okay, I'll take a
Yeah.
look.
So that's you're gonna be surprised when you see that and you're gonna message me straight away. So I saw this movie a couple of years ago. And that's what made me kind of convinced because I think it was no, actually a couple of years ago before Batman came out. And I'm
Joe,
thinking,
wait,
oh man,
Good Times. Wait, when did this come out? I'm seeing Good Times 1974. It's definitely not that one, right? The old school one
no,
with
no, no,
John
no, no, no,
Amos and stuff like that.
no, no. Good times, is it good times? Good memories, good times. Just type in I think it's good
Okay.
times.
2017
Yes, yes, yes,
with
yes. So
Benny Sir, Robert Pattinson. With Pattinson in it, yeah?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
So
got
do me a
Pirate Dude in it. Yeah, okay.
pirate dude.
Yeah, I am the captain now. He seems like he's in it. But Abdi, he's
Could
just a
be.
security guard.
Yes,
He's
yes,
like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
security guard.
He's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's in it. He's in it. He's in it. Uh, check it out. Really good. That's when I first, when they first announced that he was going to play Batman. I think I watched it in 2020 when they announced that he was going to play Batman, and then a couple of months later, this movie came up. Somebody recommended it, and I watched it, and I was like, "Oh shit! You know what? He's got a good American accent. This is a good story about two brothers. One brother who's disabled. He's trying to protect him, trying to keep him, but he's in with the wrong crowd. Very touching story, and I think he's acting. He's like it's one of them Oscar worthy. Like what Adam Sandler did in Uncut Gems.
Hmm.
This is Robert Pattinson's
Pattinson's.
movie where you're like, oh shit, he's got
Hmm.
range. This guy got
Okay.
range. So very good. So what Bong Joon-ho did for Mickey 17, which is adapted from a book, I think is great. My only thing about this movie was it's all about colonizing, right? Going onto another
Hmm.
planet, colonizing another planet.
Take the resources, stuff like that.
They still colonized that at the end.
Did
What was the
they? What
moral of the
they?
story?
Yeah, actually they did because they
They
still
got
ended
along
up
with the
there.
people there, but they still ended up there. They
Yeah,
got
the
along with the
aliens.
aliens.
Yeah,
The aliens were
yeah.
funky, man. That scared the shit out of me.
I
Uh,
know they made peace, but what does that peace mean? Because what human beings actually end up doing is like, oh, we need the resource, we need to take it, we need to do this. Yeah,
that's the only
interesting.
thing that bugged me because it had the real world realities of what's happening now, but then just settling. Because that's almost like the story of what happened to the Native Americans, bro.
What happened to Palestine? What's happening to Palestine? What happened to Palestine?
Well, a bit more on a violent stage. This one, they had peace at the end and they worked together on it. That's crazy, bro. Sorry. And it's funny that
Yeah,
Mark Ruffalo picked this one. This was the one I was like, okay, he did that on purpose because he was imitating Musk and Trump. And it was a perfect way for him to do that as well. So, anyway,
he
Mickey
was great.
17.
He
It's a
was.
good film. It is a good film.
Oh, it's a brilliant film.
Comedy,
I thought it was
science
really good.
fiction. Listen,
I do think it was a
uh,
little bit long for me, but I think there's so much to be told, so much story to tell. Not just story to be told, but also like character development to be told, and little character traits that to be told. So there was so much to it, which made it feel like a little bit long, but
yeah.
it was definitely I had this different perspective after watching the trailer. I thought there's going to be multiple ones of him and all this sort of stuff, but it was really thoughtful and like heartfelt and like
Yeah.
there was a lot behind it, behind each character and everything. Yeah, it's really good.
No, I fully enjoyed it. It's actually one of my favorite films this year. Pointing it out there now. A lot of people maybe not agree with me, but it's one of my favorite films this year. There is like things, as you said, a bit long, but like science fiction, comedy, dark comedy, uh, great acting. I couldn't have asked for anything else extra, and it's an original film that we're getting up on there. Same thing with Novocaine. It's an original film we're getting up there. Uh, we're getting all these remakes and all these extra movies, and we're prone to we're as a society, as the human race, we're prone to being programmed to, we've been watching remakes and franchises for so long, but something original comes out and we don't support it. And this is like comic books and this is like books. We don't support when somebody writes a new book and puts it out there. We wait for it to become a movie and then we support it. We shouldn't work like that. We work backwards. So shout outs to Bong Joon-ho for bringing out this original movie, and I want to see more original movies. So, like, bro, I'm super excited for Sinners. Ryan Coogler's new movie with Michael B. Jordan. Bro, I've never been so hyped. I haven't watched any more trailers. I watched that second trailer. Hyped. Listen, I
Mm,
am all about vampires, bro. You know,
yeah.
and bringing it into that world, bro. It looks sick, bros. It's going to be an original story. You got some good-looking people up in this movie as well. Like this
Yeah.
looks good. It reminds me of Near Dark and
28. Is it like
the
that 28 days later? No, no.
tw
The one with Josh, is
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
Josh
28 days
Hartnett?
later. Josh Hartnett, yeah, Josh Hartnett, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
28 nights, 28 days or whatever. Yeah, that was a good one.
so we've got some good stuff coming out, man. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, there you go.
Cool,
That's my
man. I mean, that's all I watched, bro. I mean, Mickey 17 was good. That's all I watched. Anything you watched before we finish off?
so again, I said I've got this new appreciation for Brandon Lee's The Crow. So I watched that. I don't know why, bro. I watched it twice. I watched it twice. There was something that caught me, and it was and a quote I stumbled across online. I was watching some of Brandon Lee's interviews for The Crow, and and I was reading one of the comments that we got on our YouTube for our Crow review for the recent one that came out. Now, listen,
Mm.
creative differences is going to happen. Yeah, they said that the person was saying that this is more close to the comic book world. Now, I totally understand that. I just feel like it wasn't. We have to be invested in the character before you tell me his origin or the origin of the Crow, because they told us about both worlds in that movie, which is great. But if you haven't connected me to those two, like, the love story and the character of Eric and what he's going through, then the rest of the movie doesn't mean much. Like, we see the great action scenes, that's cool, and the great special effects, that's cool. But you haven't made me connect to Eric. I need to feel Eric's pain before I go with him on this journey. You didn't do that. Bro, you're right. When we said this last time and you spoke about it when you saw it as well, that first 10 minutes of The Crow, we were in, bros.
The
We were in.
original, yeah.
We
Because
were
this new
in.
one, they spent so much time telling the love story. And by the end of the love story in the beginning, I wasn't even convinced that they were that much in love. Whereas the original one with Brandon Lee, within 10 minutes, I was like, oh my God, I know that they're in so much love. And whatever had just happened to his wife, like, I can't wait for him to get revenge because these guys were so evil. Like you didn't have to even give me the love story for me to be convinced that he was deeply in love with her and he wants his revenge. Whereas in this one, they spent so much time, and I'm like, I'm not even convinced that you guys are in love. And plus, you guys were like two criminals as well. And I'm like, I don't know. If it's close to the comic, but listen, that's cool. Then you can enjoy it. For sure. You can enjoy it. Like, who's saying you shouldn't? Who cares if everyone else says it's crap? And or not crap, but they don't enjoy it.
Exactly. Like, they
And
didn't enjoy it.
you should sit back and say, well, I like it. It's like the comics. And here's my review on it. And go enjoy it. You should do. There's no harm in enjoying something that no one else enjoys. I don't understand that. Like, it's you as an individual.
Exactly. It's you.
I just
It's
prefer
you.
the original one because it's short, not short, but it was able to capture me within 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till he gets revenge. You know what I mean? And you're with him the whole story. And I'm already, like I said, I'm convinced of his love story. I'm convinced of the anger and the rage and the soul was not complete. That's why I was convinced by all of that in 10 minutes because I saw what I saw as a viewer, what caused that form of action within 10 minutes. I saw all of that happen in 10 minutes. And I was like, I'm in. Let's go.
And that's what I'm saying. And there are some heartfelt moments in there, bro, man, because this guy's carrying this pain, and with I think it's Sarah, which is the young girl, and they have this beautiful soundtrack, and the fact that it can't rain all the time, bro. It's like a quote that I'm living by at the moment now. Uh, we're gonna go through shit. We're gonna go through some hard shit, but not all the time. And I think that's a great concept, bro. And the fact that that movie has enlightened me again with the creativity, bro. There's some scenes in that film that are fucking sick. We don't get that in movies now. You know, when it's the shot of the crow flying and you get this overview of the city and it burning and it's got this oval shape to it, so it gives it a really weird, like kind of wide angle, but the colors and the saturation and we don't get that feel no more in movies, bro. Movies look too clean right now. Where we're seeing people's makeup and shit like that. Where it's like this one had this depth to it, and maybe it's not like the original comic book. And I've looked through the original comic book. Yes, it doesn't look the same. It doesn't look the same. But I feel like they gave me something that, as a moviegoer, something visually stunning and connectable, and the action's great, and it's Ernie Hudson's character as the cop, he's still shocked and still like that moment when he was like at the end where he gives him the cigarette and he's like, oh, this shit's gonna kill me. This is butters, and then he throws it out. But the shockness of him seeing Eric come back, and he was like, man, you dead, man. And there was a couple of characters in there that did get killed, and they were like, like these guys are already killers and murderers already. And then the fear, bro. Fear, man. Fear is so dangerous. The fear of, oh shit, this is happening to me now. Oof. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Great film.
I can't guarantee because I've never looked in it, but I 100% feel that Christopher Nolan, Heath Ledger took inspiration from this character, especially that scene where the gangsters are sitting around the table there. Especially, I mean, that scene is that scene from Dark Knight. I mean, I really feel, I've never confirmed or looked into it, but I really feel there was inspiration taken from that scene, specifically from the scene itself and from the characteristics of the Crow to put in the Dark Knight with Joker in that scene. Has to be.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with that. And if I ever get the opportunity to interview Mr. Nolan, I'm gonna ask him.
And how crazy is that both main actors passed away?
Yeah, man, it's sad. You know what?
I
was reading up on that story. They ended up having to finish the movie with computer graphics and stunt doubles and doubles of people that look like Brandon Lee. I saw the actor who shot the gun as well. And it's a tragic moment that happened. I don't know why checks like that don't happen. I mean, to this day, you had Alec Baldwin have that same situation as well now. That's insane, bro. Absolutely insane. Like the fact that we are still having to do this, but we lose a legend in the process. Now, there's going to be conspiracies and all the rest of it that come along with this as well. I'm not all in for that. And a really bad accident had happened and we lost an amazing person. There's more to it and people will see more to it as well. But it's heartbreaking, man. I think Brandon Lee was, another one like his dad as well. Not as influential, but like watching some of his interviews recently and the way he talked and the way he carried himself and the respect he had for his dad, his mom, his sister, just made me love him even more. Like it's weird. Like I've never met the guys. I've never met Bruce Lee. But he talks about the struggles that he's had as well, and not many people talk about stuff like that, man. And I think it's important to know that like this guy was struggling because he's on the shadow of his dad, and now he's not here no more because he had some great philosophies like his dad as well. He was a guy who loved reading books. And he quoted a lot of books. There's a quote that I put out recently for him as well, where he talks about, we're not going to get much moments. We don't get many moments. How many times are you going to see the sunrise? How many times do you see the sunset? Like how many times do you get to see the moon? And it just connected on a different level and made me fall in love with the movie more of what he was bringing to the character of Eric as well. It was moments, bro. Those moments of memories as well that he was having with Shelley as well, which is like heartbreaking, bro. Heartbreaking. And you put that into your relationship, your kids, your family, and having key moments and I think what's happening at the moment now with the Brothers Geek Out podcast is cementing our legacy. It's not for the likes and views. It never has been, guys. It never has been. The reason why I want to be at screenings and do interviews and press junket is for inspiring the next generation. I want to inspire my kids. I want to inspire my nieces and nephews that they can do so many great things and not to see the validation in what social media has done to people, because it has ruined a lot of people as well. Like we had an incident recently, which I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, where people do stuff for views and likes. People do stuff to harm other people as well. I am not about that, and I'll stand up for other people for that. And if anybody's going through that, but hit that nail on the head, stand up to it. Don't take that type of abuse and don't seek validation in what you do. If you love movies, you love artwork, you love martial arts, you love sports, do it because of the love of it. And I think we have cemented that in that as well. Like when people always ask me, like, Gibbs, man, I saw you take a picture of the screen, but I didn't see you. Because, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, straight up. I got a family to get back home to, and it's a mission. So that's why I just dust out. I'll say hello, pay my respects. Most of you guys are really cool, but I got to dust out and see my family. But I've still got those memories in there to say you can be in the right places in the right rooms. We have been in the right rooms, bro. Alhamdulillah, to this day, the fact that I, get to stand in the room with some of these characters and actors and the rest of it has been an absolutely amazing journey, even face to face, like on Zoom call with Amber Mid Thunder, who was amazing in The Prey, a woman who shows her indigenous roots. I wanted to compliment her on her earpiece that she had. She had the feather on there, but I didn't want to, make it biased to for the interview because I want to talk about the movie. I don't want to do that because a lot of people do that. They look for stuff, they dig for stuff. But here's a woman with an indigenous root representing on the screen as well. And in Prey, she was amazing. And in this movie, she plays a strong female character as well. So like stuff like that, like you want rememberable moments when they'd be like, you know what, like Dad, Sasa did some cool stuff. What can we do? And it doesn't have to be in the same lane. Even these kids are our kids are gonna watch these podcast episodes and be like, oh man, Dad and Sasa swear so much. But I want them to know that this is available for them now. What we put online will represent who we are, and I want them to see that because you type in the Brothers Geek Out Podcast, there's some really cool stuff that comes up. That's what I want to come up. I don't want to type my name in and say you lose. Because we've got 10 years of history online now, bro. We lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's going to be moments where they're going to watch an episode and be like, I don't agree with Sasa or Dad on that one.
Yeah, I know I've said some shit that I feel like I shouldn't have said, but that's the nature of online. That's the nature of this podcast, the nature of conversating and retracting on what you're saying and saying, I made a mistake. I don't think I should have said that. Or, just you see the growth in us in the last 10 years. Like, that was our perspective then. Then we grew 10 years and we got more reality and we had wives and kids. Our perspective completely changed. The world view, my perspective on the world changed based on the way the world is. And that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to grow from these things. But yeah, no. Amazing.
All right.
I mean, yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah, The Crow, that was, yeah. That was The Crow. Anything else? I did watch. Hold up, bro. Let me pull it up. I did watch something. Let me. My letterbox, guys. Remember? Yeah, I do. I got to pick up Alara in a bit. Nia's at home already, so she's all right. She's asleep, so I got 1:45. I got to pick up the Alara. She's on half day. So what did I watch? So guys, remember we're on Letterbox as well, which is where we put our reviews up on there. I did want to talk about Punching Bag. Which I haven't been able to. I have to put my review out there on Letterboxd and I put it out there on Instagram and stuff like that. But just to shout out to the guys, Rob and Michael, we got to see the movie a month ago, which was an amazing experience to see a movie that was based on our podcast episode to becoming a short, beautiful, amazing movie. Now, people are going to say I'm going to be biased because it's connected to the podcast and was inspired by the podcast episode. But no, man, listen. Take that away, and knowing them as well, take that away. I think what Rob done as a director and writer on this is absolutely amazing. Like his visual, stunning look to boxing and mental health is just amazing, bro. It doesn't even have much dialogue, but it's so hard hitting, it's gut wrenching. To base a short movie on a man's mental health. And knowing that he would let one punch end it all, he ended up becoming a punching bag for people when he was sparring. It's heartbreaking.
Where can I watch this? Where can I watch it? Well, how's it gonna be released?
All right, it's not out yet. So we did that was the industry screening. So they're doing festivals at the moment, and then it'll be online after that. But I supported their Kickstarter and stuff like that, so we'll get a copy and then I'll send it over to you.
All right, awesome. Well, I hope eventually they after they've done, the distributions and all that, they eventually pull it on something like YouTube so they could just really spread it out to the world. I really think like at the end, and I don't know what their marketing thing is, but at the end, I feel like after you've done everything, eventually pull it out on YouTube and then let it go out global, man. Like, because I feel like something like that is it will be great for that to be distributed in
No,
that
no,
sort of way.
100%, 100%. I think that I mean, there's so much more to it. So I'm going to support Rob and Michael, but putting them aside, Punching Bag is a visually stunning storytelling about mental health, men's mental health, and boxing as well. Bro, you could like his inspirations in some of the scenes and the fighting. Bro, the fact that he shot this on film and got the fighting direction really well, like I felt those punches, bro. Amazing, bro. I felt those punches. Like, check out my full review, which is on Letterboxd as well. And then I saw another film as well. There was something else I saw as well, but Craven. Yeah, I did say I saw Craven. It took me 6 days to watch it. I watched like 20 minutes every time. Uh, I'll leave it there.
Yeah,
Good
what we
action
spoke about
scenes.
earlier. Spoke
Good
about
action
earlier.
scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good action scenes. I gotta say. But all right, cool. That was it for me, bro.
All right, cool. I mean, listen, that was everything, man. We spoke a lot. There was a lot to talk about today. Um, yeah, no, guys, keep appreciate all your support. Actually, you take us out, man. You got the speech. Take us out.
Listen, guys, as I said, look, we spoke about it earlier on the podcast as well, and it's been a hard push. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a hard push, and it's been hard for both of us as well. I think mentally regarding what's happening in Palestine at the moment now, and I don't want to seem to be begging or trying to run the narrative or anything like that. They need our help. They so need our help. But look, I just want to say, free Palestine, free Congo, free Yemen. Free the Uyghurs in China as well. Like there's so much shit going on at the moment. But please help us support medical aid for Palestine. After the massacres they had last week and continued massacres going on for the past 2 years, uh, they need our help like crazy right now. And I'm trying to raise money on my Instagram page, but we do have the link in our description. So any little helps. I know we're struggling ourselves at the moment now, and the current crisis with the cost of living in the UK right now is affecting quite a lot of you guys. And remember, don't battle this alone. There is help out there to get if you need it. So make sure you reach out to those right companies that can help out when it comes to the cost of living at the moment. Now, listen, man, like the water bill, we live in a two-bedroom maisonette. From it being every quarter £200 to £400 is a fucking big hit, and that is going to
Mm,
hurt a lot of people in the process. And it probably has. I've seen some of the shit that some people are going through. It's heartbreaking, and they got kids to give showers and baths to. It's like, it's hard. It's hard. So listen, with all the struggles, remember there's direct lines that you guys can get in contact with people to help out. There are companies out there that are trying to help as well. But with the people of Palestine at the moment now, they need our help more than ever. And if you could donate a little bit, doesn't matter. I don't care who you are. Even a little bit really helps out. But as always, massive thank you for the love on the channel, guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing. G-Man looks after the YouTube channel completely now with the editing and posting all the news and everything like that. And you guys have interacted so well to it. And, we've had like 30 more subscribers in the past week, which is absolutely
crazy.
amazing. So welcome to, I was going to say, welcome to the Brothers Geek Out Podcast. Like massive, massive thank you for the support. Remember, guys, we're on all listening platforms as well. So if you can't get to watch us, you guys can hear us on all like Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts and other ones as well. Check us out there. Make sure you follow us on our social media pages, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Guac, or whatever they're going to call it next. I did delete a few, to be honest, bro, because I couldn't keep up with so many platforms. So we are here on YouTube, where there's a community page where you guys are starting to show us some love on there as well, which is amazing. So I share anything that we do on there as well. So check out the community page here. Subscribe, like, dislike, as always, guys, and comment, guys. Always helps us out and all the good stuff. Listen, have a wonderful, wonderful week, day, evening, morning, lunchtime. Have a good one, and we'll catch you guys up soon. One love.
Peace.
Peace.